attention. Overly blunt in this one first attention. Gotta get your Thursday right for the weekend. Overly blunt podcast for the treatment. Keep it this shit not low. Cause 99 too far from a hundo. New Thursday.
Do that, baby, do that. Who that?
J. Cole's first single?
You like J. Cole?
I do. I actually recently got into like this I don't even know what the word is, but I was just playing J. Cole like all day, every day. Inspiring. J. Cole's like I have qualms with him. Like sometimes he's very boring to me, and then other times I'm like, I love how slow and old man this is. I vibe with this.
I think you get old man vibes.
You get old man vibes from J. Cole?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's very mature. Like he's not a regular guy.
See, my theory on J. Cole would be his first album, ass.
Trash.
Right? Like just ass out the gate. Second album, he's making up for it. You know, he's
That
like,
was a dope album.
Yeah, the first one was very disappointing.
And then the third album, I feel like he pretty much went into the game headstrong with a goal. Right? Accomplished that goal, got signed, dropped the first album, didn't know what to do after that. And then he kind of got lost in the music to where it's like, here's a first album, here's a okay second album. But I feel like by the third album, he had to take it back to step one.
Yeah.
And say...
Third one was Forest Hills Drive?
Yeah.
I think so.
I listened to it the other day.
It was.
I was like, oh, this is kind of good, actually. Kind of like this.
He's been in the game since 2009. He's only dropped 3 albums. He's been in the game since 2008.
No, he had For Your Eyes Only after. That's 4th
4
album.
albums.
5th album, KOD.
Oh, never mind. I take that off.
But I thought his mixtape, the one before the album,
very good.
that should have been his first album.
Friday Night Lights.
Oh, Friday Night Lights, yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah,
that song with Drake.
But
In the Morning was fire.
But I have see the one I got is all J. Cole. No Drake feature on In the Morning. Yeah, I was heavy into Cole before he was Cole.
I kind of like Drake.
He had a bunch of different, like, even for the Missy Elliott track, he got Nobody's Perfect. There was a few versions of that. Like, and the one on the album ended up being full of sound. The ones before that were kind of stripped of sound.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounded better?
I wouldn't say better. It didn't have as much instrumentation as the one we got on the album.
Oh, okay.
So... yeah, the one on the album was definitely more polished up. But yeah, I was heavy into Cole. Like 2008, he got signed from Jay-Z with Lights Please. But that single was going to be the single for the mixtape. For Your Eyes Only, or not For Your Eyes Only, Friday Night Lights. But I think he released it as a single, got signed, dropped the tape because I was already in motion. Then the first album came out.
Was that song on the second mixtape or the third one?
Which one?
Lights Please.
Lights, Please.
Second.
And
The
the album.
And the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird.
With Trey Songz.
Trey Songz.
He was on Lights Please? Nah.
Nah?
I don't think so.
I just can't get enough, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just became a Cole fan after KOD, officially.
Okay.
Because, I never said he was whack. I never thought... I know he has bars.
Yeah.
Which just never attracted you.
Nothing really attracted me until... like you said about the boring part.
Yeah.
That's how I always felt too. I thought J. Cole really was boring. Like, his music... And the fact that he produced his own shit, but his production wasn't all that to me either. So I felt like even he should be getting on... I was like, yo, to me, Cole would sound dope on like a Timbo beat. Or it's like, I wanted him to do different shit, but he'd always produce his own stuff. But his production's not even... Like, to me, I wouldn't consider him in a top producer category. And he pretty much produced a lot of his albums, basically.
Yeah.
So...
I thought his production was better, like, on the mixtapes.
Well, that wasn't just him.
Nah?
That was Elite.
And Omen, too, no?
Omen, Elite. I just remember Elite being one of the main ones.
Elite.
Yep. You know exactly what song I'm talking about, too. That sample crazy with the drum. When the drums kick in.
Yeah. Oh, man. What was that song I really like? I think it was called Grown Simba.
Oh, that was fire.
Fire.
It was crazy.
He got a bunch. I have, bro, on my first hard drive ever. I got like 80 gigs of just music, just download. Not like official. I'm about to, this album came out. I'm about to, like all leaks, all bullshit, all pretty much just my introduction to hip hop, and it's just leaked tracks from Wayne. I got like Dirty Wayne mixtapes on there, just unofficial, official, whatever the fuck I could get my hands on and sounded dope. It's on that hard drive.
That's cool.
Do you still have a lot of your own music saved up?
Yeah.
Like all of it?
Yeah, pretty much all of it.
Yeah, it's probably like 3 songs, but not a lot.
It's
to
like
save.
it's like 100, over 100, I'd say.
Over 100 songs?
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic, whatever happened to Black Mamba Flowers?
Yeah, so that was a mixtape that I was making. I started in 2012.
Where are we at right now? Mixtape.
Hey, bro, that's J Electronica.
That's a album though, right?
I was
That is an album though, right?
But still.
And we got features, right? And we got Exhibit C from Jay. I'm waiting on Exhibit Keys.
Yeah, so I wrote like 5 songs in one day. I literally just sat there and wrote them. And then it started like transforming and evolving over time. It was a way to challenge myself. So I really wanted to write music. I wanted it to be like I was tripping out on drugs, but never having done drugs. So that was like the lyrical style. It was very like complex. But then after that, I don't know what happened in life. And then I just gave it up. Yeah. And then I found out I was having my son. And then I started making more like easy to listen to music. But it never came out.
Oh, you fucked that up, boy.
I did.
It never came out.
I'm sorry, folks.
Wow, man. You gotta touch it.
I was pointing to him. He had something on his head, so I went like that.
Oh, it's probably my gray hair.
No.
I am 1,005.
On your forehead.
I wanted to get
it's
that
like,
out.
It's like a flake.
Before we got too.
Oh, right here, down here in front of your forehead. No, more
No, higher.
You know this.
Right there, you
this weather is making my skin dry, and I'm usually very moist.
Pause.
I don't know why
Pause.
people don't like that word.
It's just
No, you shouldn't be moist, but I don't mind the word.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
What's
We don't want you here leaking, bruh.
Oh god.
He said people don't like that word. Like, nah, I don't mind the word, but you can't be moist.
Yeah.
No, sir, not around us. But Black Mamba Flowers,
Yeah.
right?
Over 100 songs.
Over 100 songs. You said
Life
you just gave
happened.
it up. Life happened.
Yeah, I just wasn't in that same like creative flow anymore.
You had other things to worry about.
But music,
Yeah.
but music kind of is something hard to I think dedicate your time, your life to in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of have to know early that I can really do this shit. Because if not, I feel like you're wasting your time.
Well, so what I found out now when I dropped my EP a few months ago that no one listened to, and it was very dope.
I haven't.
I figured you hadn't.
It didn't say BMF on there, so I was like, what the fuck am I listening to?
You're never gonna listen to any of my songs, then, man. I'm just gonna like I'm gonna send it to you with the name, but that's not gonna be the real name.
Oh, I'm down with that.
But what I learned was actually like, so I've been studying psychology, and I started. I did a few ayahuasca ceremonies, and I started like understanding how like the human brain works.
How many is a few?
I've done 2.
Okay.
And so I've done a couple. But what I started learning was that like we have patterns that run us. So basically like, and these patterns are embedded in our DNA, like from our parents, and we inherit them. So something that runs in my family is procrastination and the inability to finish things. So what I realized when I was recording Sundress Season is the name of my EP with my friend Joe, was that I could not finish recording. So I literally had to tape like affirmations to the wall. I'm kind of crazy. Like if you go in my restroom, there's like affirmations all over the wall. It's weird. They like manifest though. It's so weird. But anyways, it's another topic. So I put them on the wall to inspire myself. And then like I was recording and I couldn't breathe. So I started doing breath work, like practicing movement with my breath. And I just would picture my son, and I would use like the energy of my son to like record the verse because I was unable to record. So I can write very well and I can make like cool patterns and stuff, but I just couldn't finish.
Because there's layers to it. There's
Yeah, man,
layers
it's
to-
all psychological.
It goes into like, strike a thought, and that thought becomes a line, and that line has to make sense and
Yeah.
become the next thing. And then you got to record, and then it's like
Yeah.
you learn how to track right. You learn how
That's
to do
where I'd get
inserts
lost.
right. Like people like Busta Rhymes raps fast, but he also knows how to do inserts.
Yeah.
He knows when to punch in. He knows where it's like, all right, stop right here, go back 20 seconds. I'm about to punch in.
Yeah, and then when
Like-
you got a good engineer, like you can't even tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That and
And you do everything yourself?
No, I have an engineer.
You don't record yourself?
I record myself. I prefer in my room because I'm actually a very shy person.
yeah. You know,
I'm getting better though at like coming out and talking in front of people and
what is it that you do now though?
And that's what I'm saying.
What do you
say
mean?
Like-
you're shy, but your field is like you can't be shy.
yeah, it's all an
Well,
act.
I'm not gonna say your field because, like I said, you could be a person that does multiple things.
I actually suffer with really bad anxiety, so I literally I treat myself like an actor. I just snap my finger and I go, "Oh, let's go!" And what I do to like combat my anxiety is I just have really high energy, and it just breaks. Through.
I'm in the same boat because when it comes to just being a chameleon, almost it's
Yeah.
like I'm around these type of people. I need to kind of blend, like
Yeah.
And your mind, instead of being 100% you and going in and like not caring about what they think, what they do, you kind of go chameleon mode until you figure the group out. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. Like I could crack jokes with this guy, not him.
Yeah.
I could say what's up to this customer, but I have to say hi, how you doing at this one.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the last episode we did with Did by Kid, he same thing. Like he kind of reads the person that comes into his chair before they even get there. But it's one of those things where it's like I feel like people that do deal with anxiety, one of the defense mechanism your brain does is like, hey, just put on the act. Just put on the fucking act. And at the end of the day, someone could be like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like when you drunk text somebody, and then the next morning you're like, hey, I was drunk, excuse me. But you're not really that embarrassed as much because that wasn't you.
Yeah.
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 It was like,
Gives it a little cushion.
yeah, it's like I'm gonna excuse this because I was drunk, or I'm gonna excuse myself right now because I'm dealing with anxiety, but this actor I'm about to put on doesn't have anxiety.
Shit, dog. Speaking of drunk, I was drunk as fuck last night. Bro, we went to the Baby King. Shout out to Baby King. We went to see the Baby King show in LA at the Roxy. And shout out to the bartender because I go up, I'm like, let me get a double shot of Hennessy. She's like, all right, just straight like that. I'm like, just with a splash of Coke, make it cute. And and then she starts pouring up, and I'm like, oh cool, she's hooking me up a little bit. It was like a triple shot, and then I was just like, literally the whole Coke got filled with Henny. And I see the little bit of Coke, and I'm like,
She just gave you the foam of the
shit.
Coke.
No, I was just like, oh shit, because she gave me more than what I asked for. I was just like, damn, she hooked it up. Shit to the brim, basically, dog. Henny cup to the brim with a splash of fucking Coke.
How were you after?
Oh, he was drunk. He texted me.
I
That's how I know he
was
drunk.
sipping throughout before the show started. So when the show started, I had to kind of like finish it. I didn't want to sip on it fast, but I had to because I knew when the show started, I wasn't gonna be like, while everyone's gonna start moshing. I had to watch out for the cup. So man, but I was in there. Not moshing, but I was in there for sure, hyped up, dancing and shit.
That
I
shit
wouldn't
look
have
lit.
had fun.
That shit look lit.
That shit was lit.
Yeah.
That was
Baby
a
King
good
knows
show.
how to put on the show, and I feel like his fans kind of know what the fuck to do as fans. Like, hey, we not gonna chill here.
Shit was lit, man. I was ready, bro. I saw Blue the Great. As soon as I walked in, I saw my bad too. I'm plugging this shit on the pod. But I walked in and I saw Brocky not Brocky, well, I know Brocky Marciano, but his little brother. And I've been like, he's just becoming a DJ and shit like that too. So as soon as I walked in, he's like right there. And then I'm like, oh shit, you Hank. And he's like, what's good, bro? And I was like, what's good, man? Listen, and walked in. Man, Brocky walked in. You could tell, beanie shit, beard. And then I seen
Probably some slippers.
Blue the Great rocking his shoes in the cut. And I was telling Tony, I was like, yo, I think that's Blue the Great. And he was like, yeah, low key, I think. And then, he tweeted at the Baby King show. So I'm like, oh, yeah, it's him. And then I seen Kuko's piano player.
I had a bunch of people at that show last night, bro. Gary was there. Blue was there. Two other like names.
You know who Baby Keem is?
No,
No?
I don't.
Pretty dope music. Well,
Kendrick's cousin.
hold on, don't say this shit. Well, let's not talk about Kendrick and shit, but not just you don't make that type of music. I think I feel like it's not. I don't even know if you like that type of music. I'm just prejudging.
He might. Who's to say? It is hype. It is hype music.
But it also falls into the whole like the new artist type, like the not too deep.
Yeah, it's not substance based, but to me,
who would you compare him to?
Nobody really.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
But he's young too. So I would put him in the young categories, like amongst the like
Corday.
Nah, cause Corday's spitting.
Corday is spitting, but I feel like Corday also like.
I would put him still more like in the Uzi category.
I like Uzi a lot.
I would put him not Uzi like exactly how he sounds like voice wise, but as far as like having the youth and turn up, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's different.
It is.
It's different because
he's one that passes in my car. Like he passes a car test in my car. I don't listen to him much, but I'm also not like, oh, this is ugly.
You listen to it. He doesn't. It's not some lyrical miracle shit at all. You know, it's just.
But the lines is dope.
But he has a lot of quotables.
Yeah.
Like on his main song, Baby Keem. Like that's the song that I really just wanted to hear the most. And he has a line on that. He has a line on that says, where he goes, "Your bitch wears Skechers." You know, like a little shit like that where it's quotables.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
What's the other one? Die for me, bitch. I'm perfect.
Yeah.
I like that one the
All
most.
of them. Look, I am 50 Cent broke. Like, you know, he just says stupid shit like that, but he had a lot of quotables. And that shit was lit. It was great energy.
I'll have to check it out.
But I feel like your music would be more like a J. Cole. I would put you more like in that.
Yeah, I would say so too, but I mean, I like everything.
Yeah, I don't like putting people in a box.
If I was to recommend you an artist based off just what you like, he's on newer beats, but super lyrical in my opinion. And it's not lyrical miracle. Lyrical is just mad quotables. Is Snub Nose Frankenstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he like just quotables. I'm the flyest dude. I'm so fly. What are the dudes that parachute with you?
I don't know.
But anyways, that was like one of the lines. He was like, I'm so fly, but I'm the guy that's helping you fucking parachute. And I was just like, that's fire. Like
The parachute instructor?
he said it in a dope way, but he ain't say parachute instructor either.
Yo, we like 17 minutes into this shit, but this is the Overly Blunt podcast. It's a new week. It's a new Thursday. I'm Chris X Matt. Got my good brother Manny here again always. Got a special guest in the building. We got JoelsGotTheKeys.
Hi.
BMF.
I really fuck with that name though.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Very.
JoelsGotTheKeys is a fire.
Thank you.
And because you a realtor.
I do sell houses,
You
yes.
sell houses, so
I do.
That's a dope play on.
Yeah, dope play on words.
It. Yeah.
Brought my artistic side in.
You sell dope houses?
Yeah, how does it receive? Like, how do people receive that when they see JoelsGotTheKeys?
I mean, really well actually.
I feel like it works with your personality.
Yeah, I had this like complex about it. I was either gonna be Joel Sells Homes or Joel's Got the Keys, and I was like,
Joel Sells Homes is trash.
I was scared, you know, and then I did use the name, and everyone loves it.
You picked a good name to it's marketable.
Very.
Yeah, and honestly, like the name, it's got me into events for free. It's got me a lot of things.
It's a good like I can see you in the Gary V like stature, but it's like, oh, that's Joel's Got the Keys. But
I like that.
I feel like you with that username, that'd be a dope username to like fuck up the real estate game as far as
100%.
like
that's what I'm gonna do.
like bring it, make it look
Your
look
intro
cool.
video, the instrumental could be I got the keys.
I like that.
Like just based off of that
Yeah,
intro.
intro clear though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You can't do nothing
That
nowadays.
is true.
But you gotta
Trust me, I thought about that.
I mean, hey, bro, but I feel like you can be probably the face of the real estate community in hip hop
Yeah, that'd be sick.
or in the culture.
Yeah, you know,
Quote,
I noticed
unquote.
that. So like different age groups have different like states of buying. Like older people, they're typically selling houses, and younger people are typically buying houses. So a lot of the young people that I work with more sellers. So I work with a lot of old people, but the young people I work with, they just love like the fact that I rap and that I'm artsy. And it's cool, man. It's worked really well for me, to be honest.
I think people are just nowadays people are amazed by multi-talented people.
Yeah.
Like nowadays the bar is very low as far as like expectations of a person. So it's like, oh, you're a great runner, like amazing. But then they find out like, wait, you actually do something else? Like,
I'm an okay runner.
whoa, like you do that too? Like for me, I hate the question like, what is it that you do? Because now I gotta kind of box myself in. With the answer.
I know what you mean.
So it's like I'm just behind the camera and behind the computer screen. What do you need done? That's it.
Yeah.
But if I was to say I'm a photographer, then I'm limiting my client to only inquire about photos.
Yeah.
And then when they find out,
What about visual artists? No.
I would say I'm a visual artist.
That's a good one.
That
Or creative director.
No, I don't like that one.
Why not?
Because what the fuck am I directing creatively? Like that, I hate. That's the worst one to me is
Really?
creative director because it's almost like
That's something like if you come up with the concept, huh?
yeah, like say you come up with a concept and like I do everything, and you're like, hey, I creative directed that,
That
and I'm
makes
just
sense.
like, bro, you gave me an idea, and I did all the groundwork to make that idea come true. So do you want to be a co-director, director? What do you want? Because creative director isn't gonna fly. You just gave me an idea, you know.
Yeah. But
And
you
there's
created it.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people on set that could do, and then they get credited because creative director. Like the bar is very low for that term. I could say, you know what? Switch that out. I don't like the way his sweater is gonna look on TV. And cool, I creative directed that.
That makes sense.
That's whack. That's whack.
That makes
Because
perfect
there's
sense.
a director, there's a cinematographer. You know, there's like many different job titles.
Yeah.
Why do we need a creative director? Like, who the fuck was a creative director for like Stanley Kubrick shit?
Them.
Exactly. It's like, I'm not gonna single you out and say you creative directed the thing. I'm gonna just say directed by. Like,
But when people ask you what do you do? You say you sell houses.
I say I sell houses.
but
That's your main thing you're focused on, huh?
Yeah, I would say that's the main thing I'm focused on right now. At this point
But
in
did
my
you
life.
want to be a rapper? Like
Yeah,
before you
yeah.
started selling houses?
Yeah.
Like that was your dream?
Yeah, so I actually got into real estate because I like the freedom of time. I liked, I don't know why this bothers people when I say it. I like making a lot of money. And I knew that if I could make a lot of money, I could be able to cover my living expenses and I could also put money aside for a marketing budget so that I could pay for dope videos from someone like you, you know, and I could create the vision that I have in my head and then I could run ads too. And I could just like basically pay to get famous because I know I have the talent. I just need to get out in front of people. Yeah. So that's why I really got into real estate. But what I realized was when I got into it was that if you really want to like sell at a high level, so the average realtor sells 4 houses a year. That's depressing. So if you want to do it at a high level, you really have to understand psychology, personality types.
get deeper into it. You gotta instead of knowing the houses, you gotta know the people in the houses.
Exactly. That's what I say. Like real estate is not about selling houses. It's about selling yourself and making people believe that you're the person for them.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about.
I think that's all sales job.
Yeah, exactly.
To where it's like, I'm not trying to sell you shit. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, but a house is a big purchase, bro.
It's huge.
Very,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
So
why-
like kind of, I think it's because some people even remember their first realtor that helped them get a house.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me?
Oh yeah.
Do you have clients that enlisted with you more than once?
Um,
Or you feel like you will work with more than once?
I do have people that I'll work with more than once. Like,
Because you've been doing this for what, like 2 years?
this is my 3rd year. This is my 2nd full-time year.
Because I remember when the last time, when we were on our way to the dunes,
Yeah.
you told me everything you're living now. Your
Yeah.
plans, your ideas, how you want to do real estate, when you're going to get your license. And
Uh-huh.
I remember that. We were
Yeah.
in the car. We weren't even in the sand dunes yet.
yeah.
But, fast forward to now, it's like you're doing pretty much everything you said that night.
So you basically figured out that real estate would give you the financial freedom you need to do your other endeavors that you're passionate about.
Exactly. Yeah, because honestly, like, I have really big goals for real estate. I don't want to sell houses forever. I really want to run a company. I just formed my corporation, and I want to basically make like a property management company. I eventually want to develop property, like get with an architect, and I want to bring like mid-century modern, because that right now, yeah, that would be dope. Right now, there's only like the dope style of houses are only affordable to the rich people, but I want to make that to where like everyone can have a really dope house.
You don't think
that's fire?
You don't think it's gonna go there though?
I think it will eventually. I want to be one of those people.
Okay, so since we're in Cali, like, you know, you got to worry about like earthquakes and shit like that.
Yeah.
How does that work out when it comes to selling the house? Like, do you got to know? Because like, I'm not in sales, but I work with salesmen, right? So I kind of see what they need to know on the product they're selling. And they do need to know like the construction, like the measurements, like, hey, this was built with aluminum and there's like a real wooden floor, blah, 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 you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Now, and people always ask us, like, hey, are these stabilizers good on dirt? You know, they ask us all terrain type things. How does it work with houses as far as earthquake insurance, or this house is very old, so and we're living on top of the San Andreas Fault? Like, do you run into precautions that deal with things that are out of your control?
Yeah, so say if someone's selling their house, they have to fill out what's called a disclosure form. So they have to disclose, like, I live on a fault. This could happen, or I've experienced these problems before.
Do people usually know they live on a fault?
That I have not ran into. But basically what we have is we have people that are called title, and they get all of that information for us. So my job really is basically just to get the house, market it, find the buyer, or put a buyer in a house and negotiate a deal for them. When it comes to like all of the back end stuff, like the permits and all of that, title handles that. So all I have to do is get it into escrow, and then my title team, they take care of that part of the transaction. So as a realtor, you don't really have to know all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And next question would be, for someone that wants to invest into a real estate property, or like, you know, invest, I guess, into a fucking building, whatever the building is, what would you recommend? Because like the information I got off the internet is like one of the smartest things you could do as a young adult is to pretty much get a loan for a duplex, rent both of them, you know, things like that. Like, what do you recommend?
Yeah, so shout outs to Dante. I just helped this guy Dante. I think he's like 32. He just had a kid, so I felt like we really connected. He raps too, and he built all of the money that he has through trading stocks and Bitcoin.
Crypto,
yeah. So it's really dope. And what he did was he wanted to get into real estate, so he bought a fourplex. So there's a loan that most first-time home buyers get. It's called FHA loan. You can get into a property for 3.5% down, and you can buy
exact number I saw.
Units are up to residential units are up to 4 units. Anything above that is considered commercial. So with the FHA, you can buy residential. So you can get a fourplex. Basically, what Dante did is he lives in one unit, and he has the other 3 people pay the mortgage. Yeah. And if you can get a really good deal, you can get into a place where you're actually making money. And then they're paying.
How much was one of those go for usually here in California?
It depends where you buy.
Obviously.
So a really good place to buy actually is the high desert, because the prices are good and the rent's good. So you could probably get like $1,000 a month, 900 to 1,000 for rent, and you could get one for like, his was 480 something.
That's not bad.
It was a little high. I've seen some that are like in the high 3s.
That's not bad because you said you can rent out each one a month.
Yeah.
How much is the mortgage on it a month?
I think it's like, I think his was 32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have like $800 if you charge $1,000 each.
Yeah. That's like, it's a great thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
If it's 32,
and he's making
1,000. No,
I think he's breaking even.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's living in one,
even.
huh? He's living in one.
Yeah,
he probably going 200 out of pocket, if anything.
Yeah,
not
That's
bad.
Nothing at all.
I pay $200 for rent.
Because I would look at it.
And you own it.
That's the thing. I would look at it like, hey, when this paid off, all you motherfuckers gone.
Yeah.
And so like you have
I'm gone.
You have to stay in the property for a year.
Oh,
okay, well,
after a year you can move out.
How can they prove that you're actually gonna live there though?
I don't know.
You see, that's
I've
the loophole, huh?
I've heard some people say, "Oh, they'll drive by." I've heard some people like say, "Oh, we do that all the time, but we don't live in it." But you're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to, but you can fake it. You can fake it.
But I've heard people
because they charge you get a higher interest if you go into it with the wanting to use it as a business, right? Like trying just to buy it or rent it out?
That I don't know actually. Yeah, I would have to ask my lender.
But with the FHA loan, you're considered a first time buyer.
Yeah.
So wouldn't no, because first time buyer doesn't necessarily say first time liver either.
Well, yeah, because I think it's more of a if you're living there. Because I think that it's more of a liability, right? If you're not in it.
So you can't get an FHA if you're not going to live in
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant.
So
Okay.
you would have to
Yeah.
get a different type of loan, like a conventional. You can
There you go. That makes
5%.
That's what I meant. Okay, yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And you can actually get more than one FHA loan. You just can't have two FHA loans at one time. Yeah.
What? Okay, so I mean, they're both FHA loans, and more first time buyers get that. Say if I want to buy like a franchise, right? Mm-hmm. Would a FHA loan go under that? Because it is technically property.
That I don't know because that's the commercial side. I've never done commercial transactions. I have some friends that do, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next time you
To
come,
be honest, I'm kind of scared.
Really?
because
Yeah, it's like a whole different ball game. You know, it's something new I would have to learn.
You said you go out to like Malibu or different places because you're trying to you want to start selling houses at that level or
Yeah, so
or you to go get inspired or would you said something along those lines.
So I used to drive Uber and I would drive in Beverly Hills. So I mean, I remember one time I was driving up this road. I think your street's called Challen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was called Challen in Bel Air, and I was driving up Challen and I just looked and there was this house like so big I had never seen a house that big, and it was like $100 million home, and I was like, oh my god, and it just expanded my mind. So now I like to go to Malibu. I went to Malibu recently by myself. It's all white people. They look like Hollister models. And I felt so out of place, and I realized I was like, I need to come here more because I feel very uneasy right now. But I go to areas like that because it inspires me to dream bigger. Because I talk about something that I've experienced in the real estate industry, and what I call it is I'm so glad I'm talking about this. You got to send this to me. This is going to be great for Instagram. I call it a geographical curse. So I'm from the high desert. Average price point there is like $250. And basically what I've noticed is realtors that come from like low income areas, when they try to sell more expensive homes, even something like 700,000, which is very common in Southern California, LAOC, they have trouble with the clients because they think that the client's going to think they don't know how to handle a property that big when it's all the same paperwork and the people are the same. I literally one time I wanted to test my abilities of communication, so I met with someone. It was the first $1 million home that I had listed. Unfortunately, it didn't sell, and I wanted to up my commission because you can really charge whatever you want. So I charged her 1% more, and typical commission 6%. She said, "How much do you charge?" I said, "I charge 7%," and she looked at me and she said, "If you can sell the house, you deserve it." And what I learned in that was that the people that are trying to get into this price point, they think that rich people don't want to pay more because it's more commission because their house is $1 million. But they don't think that way. Like, you have to think of like, if you're rich, you're gonna buy a Gucci t-shirt. But if you're poor, you're gonna buy like a Walmart t-shirt. It's the same ratio.
Yeah.
it's still a t-shirt.
But the thing is, when people come from like low income areas, they can't see past that. So what I do is I take myself to Malibu or Bel Air and places like this to inspire myself.
And why was that the only one you ever listed? You never tried to list another $1 million home?
It is his third.
I have. I had another one. I was going to list in Walnut, and I had went to the house and everything, and then he just listed with someone else. Mm-hmm. But so what I do is I call something called expired listings. So every day homes come off the market, and I call like a 50-mile radius. My office is in Rancho Cucamonga. I call from the high desert to like Palm Springs to Los Angeles. And whatever I get. So I don't know if you guys believe in the law of attraction, but I've been attracting a lot of high desert business. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, when you get one, they just kind of keep coming. Like, I just got one today. I leveraged a home I sold like down the street to get this one. And but I'm trying to break more into LA and get into that price point. It's exciting. Yeah.
Can you talk more about your Instagram growth?
Instagram growth. Yeah. So we'll peel back the layers on this. So, how did I grow my Instagram? Is that what you're asking?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so a few years ago, I spent about $1,000 and I bought Ty Lopez marketing course. And then through that, you meet cool people that are in it as well. So I met this guy named Ryan Hildreth, and he basically told me what he was doing to grow his Instagram, and he's in like finance or something, and he told me that he used this app called Captivate. So what Captivate does is it allows you to target people that are in the same niche or niche, however you like to say it. I like to say niche because it sounds fancy. Niche as you. And so say I'm in real estate, I would target realtors and I would follow their followers. And because we have the same interest, their followers are more likely to follow me back. So you do this over and over and over again.
And you unfollow people.
And then you unfollow. So you unfollow the people that don't follow you. But there's going to become a point in time where you can't follow any more people because you're only allowed to follow 7,500. So you do have to start unfollowing people.
Really?
And there's ways to...
Lil B follow 1 million people.
Oh, I don't know. Like
can't.
what I've experienced with I've grown a few accounts for me and my friends, and we weren't able to. So yeah, I did that, and yeah.
Okay, so that strategy isn't new, but I didn't know that was the strategy.
It's all automated.
A lot of my followers, I would say, I don't have a lot of followers, but I could say that the people I want watching me are watching me.
And I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Because it came to a point where it was like, this person seen my video? Wow. This person seen my video? Wow. And when you start connecting the dots, when you get into it, it's like, artists aren't following me, but I have their managers following me. I have their creatives following me. I have certain people to where it's like, yeah, you're not the main source, you're not the center of the show, but you run the shit. So
yeah,
hey, I want to shoot with one of your artists. Cool, okay, I like your work. Let's set it up. Because the artist is more likely to listen to their manager.
Yeah.
So the way I do things now, even the way I network, I'm more likely to work with a manager first or contact the manager first before I even approach the artist.
Okay.
So it's like I kind of know what I'm getting myself into. How do they like being shot? Do they like certain angles? I kind of figure out the subject way before
You even meet them.
I even ask to shoot them.
Wow.
And then when I do ask to shoot them, it's like, hey, we've been talking for like 4 months in Instagram DMs. Yeah, let's set that up. We'll be in town next week.
Ooh.
Bam. Now I know the artist, what they like, what they don't like, and I know their manager. To me, that's like the more personal part where it's like, hey, I could call you and you're a resource now. You're not an artist. You know, if I hit up an artist and I'm like, hey, let's shoot a video, but I need this, this, and this. All right, I'm gonna talk to my manager. I could have done that.
Yeah.
So for me, like now I have certain eyes watching my profile. And I'm just cool. Like when I look at my insights, I look at saves and direct messages because it's just like this. I don't care about the likes. I don't care about the comments. Wow, 42 people saved this.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's when I started thinking like, damn, like, okay, 18 people sent this in DMs. Like someone, people are talking.
Yeah.
And that's what I like seeing. So I didn't know that was the strategy, but I guess I've been kind of.
Yeah, so I was telling him earlier, like, I don't know if it works anymore because I stopped using it because there was a thing that went on with Instagram where they weren't allowing people to use the app anymore because they said that we were, like, you know, abusing the platform.
You found the loophole.
Yeah.
You found the loophole. That's all it was.
But it sounds so counterintuitive to me because I'm like, okay, you guys want to increase engagement. People are putting out quality products. Like, I feel like I put out, like, quality content. And so I'm trying to get this in front of more people to spread my message, but then you guys don't want me doing that. But you want me doing it, so what do you?
They want
me
you
to do?
doing it through paid ads, like even even Facebook. Like the one thing I noticed with Facebook, I learned this week is Facebook has this thing called image text or text generator or whatever, and all it is you upload your image, and it'll tell you this image will be amazing for promotion. Or this image will be shit. You won't get any engagement for promotion.
Oh, I get that, yeah.
So now it's like for work, when I do like a Black Friday sale, it could literally only say Black Friday sale because Facebook doesn't want too many texts. So when people are scrolling around, that's what made me mad about it. I'm like, so when people are scrolling around and it says Black Friday sale, Black Friday sale, Black Friday sale, Black Friday, which one's going to stick out? Now you guys are just collecting 4 different companies' money.
Yeah.
But they own Instagram. So I feel like the algorithm they have in their mind, it's a more constrictive algorithm for us. And on their end, it's like, we just want your coin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cause literally, bro.
And they mad that so many people are like, we don't need a middleman no more. Like Instagram really made people pop any way you want to pop.
Yeah, it's like, bro, man, like if you imagine MySpace
Hurts the record
time,
labels a lot.
super.
And then like you don't have to pay for marketing. Like you can market yourself on IG,
Bro,
like your personality.
You could market with $5 and blow the fuck up with like that's to me. That's where it's like I could self promote with $5. Back then it was like I need a manager. Hey, I need the word spread. Now it's like fuck it. Let me add $40 and it'll tell you how many people will reach.
Yeah.
The content on Instagram is fire to me because like, you tap into people's worlds.
Yeah.
It's like every profile is like a world, whether it be the fake pages or not.
Yeah.
Everyone's like a world, and it's your channel. It's you can show what you want. That's obviously allowed, and that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to follow it. You don't have to see it.
I agree.
You could block it if it really bugs you.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's just amazing.
I feel like the internet age is gonna mess up in the future for one reason. That's just multi-personality disorder. I feel like there's gonna be kids that are so engaged to their phone, like making TikTok videos or something, to where that's their personality now. As if all day it's like when me and you are high all day, all we think about is like that would have been dope content. That would have been dope content. Watch when kids are starting to just be that personality to where it's like you could have your phone out and record this one person. His entire personality is a direct, like linear image of the internet.
So this is actually a really interesting topic to segue into, I guess. I'm all like taking over the show.
No, that's fine.
Sorry.
You good?
So when I wasn't getting a lot of contracts signed and selling homes, my mom came to me one day and she's like, hey, why don't you be that guy? And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, that Joel's Got the Keys guy. Like, why aren't you him? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're a different guy on camera than you are in person. And if you were that guy that you are on camera in person, you'd probably sell more homes. So now when I'm at work, I'm Joel's Got the Keys. And like my production has raised like through the roof. And it's insane. It's like but then I started figuring out too when I like went through like my spiritual awakening was that like I was doing all of this. Yes, there was like a good intention behind it, but it was so ego driven. Like, what type of reaction are people going to give me? How is this going to make my ex-girlfriend feel? How is this going to make that person feel that said I would never amount to anything? Look at me now. Like, I was so driven by my ego.
You calculated everything based off personal gain.
Yeah, and it wasn't the real me, you know?
Your internet gain.
That was my internet me, you know? That was an aspect of me.
And that's why I am the way I am on the internet, because I don't want to give everything up.
Yeah.
Because it's private. We're fighting with privacy, so it's like, you finding out more about me just to get pictures done, I don't see how that makes sense. Like for your field, I get that.
Because
like,
what if you're like a rapist?
Exactly. Well, yeah, I get that. I get that part too. But it's also like,
it's like, damn, I don't see no pictures of your face. That's kind of like iffy. Like I don't know how you look like too before I approach you.
That makes sense.
But to me, it's one of those things where it's like, are you here for me or are you here for the work?
We just don't know who's behind the account though.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part. That's why I would want to know more about you.
No. Is it a scary part in today's day and age? Would it have been the same scary 10 years ago on the internet? Or
obviously now, because of how much the internet's popping and how much everybody's on social media.
And that's why for me it's like I feel like if I had an internet personality,
You do.
I do. But if I had a internet presence with like my face and stuff, it would be very hard to kind of
My whole logic is that I say a whole lot of shit but never enough. So basically I'll show myself here and there, but it's never to the point where it's like, my all moves, my routine, where I'm gonna be at, where what I'm doing. So it's never that deep, but I'm just sprinkle some of my personality here and there, you feel me? And it's really me.
Yeah.
It's not like
when someone goes down your page, they know Overly Blunt, right? And I feel like
they know I podcast.
And I feel like you separate yourself from that person because of that. And not in a bad way. It's just one of those personal boundaries. Hey, but if I don't want you guys knowing too much about my life. Here's me showing you my face. Here's me saying what's up. You control that, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what my fear is down the line, we're not going to have control.
Yeah.
And I feel like our kids being born with front facing cameras, they don't know outside. So you have like, bro, I've seen weird videos on TikTok with like a girl acting like a cat with big ass fucked up eyeballs. But I'm like, the video wasn't creepy. To me, what was creepy is like you kind of got ready, did all this makeup for a 15-second segment for engagement, but like that's you giving up a lot of yourself just for engagement with no like ROI on that. Like, what are you gaining from that? Engagements don't do anything nowadays, but it does fulfill a lot of egos.
Well, if it's getting you a lot of views and you're probably getting a lot of views, you're an asset to the platform.
Yeah, and
you probably get paid.
What I'm saying is like all right, say Tidal Wave got 20,000 followers, right? I'm good. I could go down to anywhere and be good. Say I got 1 million followers. I could go anywhere. I'll be good based off of how I separate myself, right? Because I don't want it to that point where it's like, hey, I saw you on the internet. What's up? I know how you are. They did the same thing with Nip, where they got in his face like, hey, he's like, I'm not. No.
I think everything is separated though. I don't think no one really shows their true self on the internet.
I think the ones that do are the successful ones right now.
You think so?
I really think the successful Vine, the successful TikTok, I think all of those people are successful because they gave up so much, they poured so much of themselves in there without looking back, and they got a reward for it. But I would say 95% of people don't have that type of, they're not 100% in. And if you're not 100% in, let's say you 50-50, I only have 50% of myself.
I don't believe that though, because I feel like a lot of the artists that are the biggest artists right now, like I'll use Cardi B as an example. She started off on Instagram, but even now to where she's at now, I don't think we see the full Cardi. I don't think that there's a lot of the private life that we don't know. All the evil shit they did. There's a lot of shit that will never come out.
I get that, but Cardi B can't step outside without cameras in her face.
Yeah.
So she's still, even though we don't see it, she sees it. She sees cameras. Mm-hmm. She's feeling like her privacy is being invaded. That's why Kanye was mad for all those years where it's like, fuck you. They're like, good morning, Kanye. Fuck you. It's 4 a.m.
But that's excessive. That was a little excessive. Like being outside your garage.
Exactly.
Like that's excessive.
And that's what I mean, to where your personality pours out so much on the internet to where people feel like they know you.
Yeah.
People would shake your hand like Joel got the keys. I feel like I've known you for 10 years.
Even when he walked in, when he saw me, he's like, hey, bro, I feel like I've known you, but hey, what's good? Nice to meet you. And it's true.
And that's the internet age. And what I'm saying is it's going to get to a point to where people's, like, back when I started internet, it was just your online ID. It was just your online persona. No one had their own avatar. Everything was what you liked. Whether it was a Lil Wayne avatar or a fucking Halo avatar, whatever it was on these forums, on these major platforms, this avatar. MySpace, I would say, would be the first time people started posting pictures.
Yeah, pictures.
And that it separated a lot because of technology. We didn't have crazy cameras. We didn't have access to a lot. So still, when you turn the computer off, you go into this different personality, right? I feel like now a lot of things are based around this. I'm about to record a video. For what reason? I want to get engagement. Like, we're integrated. Like, I feel like this is the pivoting point for the next life or the next style of life. Yeah. You know how we went through like the Industrial Revolution, now we're going through like the whole AI and the Silicon Valley app creation shit. This is the pivoting point because as it goes, it's like, bro, your health on there. Your blood type be on there. They be asking you about your heart rate, your allergic reactions. You fall down. iWatch will call 911. There's all these things where your privacy is literally in something you don't control.
Yeah.
So with social media, I feel like
electronic leash. So
with social media, I feel like a lot of people are pets, and their owner is social media. And that's where that was good. And that's where I want to come in and be like, wait, no, I control me. Here's my work. Here's an extension of me. This is my world in my head. You want to get to know me? Pull up. Because that's how human interactions go.
I feel that.
That's the biggest thing to me. And there's going to be one day where someone is so intrigued about who I am. Because I also, when people hit me up, like this girl hit me up, was like, what's your first love? And I told her that's my mom's love. But if she asked me in person, it would have been a different answer because I wouldn't be that vulnerable in person. But on the internet, since there is no me, here you go. Here's my fucking direct, full, in-depth answer. And she was like, wow, like that makes me want to like get to know you more. And it's like, cool. Like, I get it. You intrigued now. But I feel like I do have an internet personality. It's just not as...
Everyone does.
It's not as extent... I feel like I'm more vulnerable through digital messages than I am through verbal messages.
Okay.
Because it's harder to read someone through the phone than it is in person. When you read them in person, like, I don't want to tell this person this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
So now it's like, it's almost an open book on the internet. Like, bitch, I know what you did last Friday.
Yeah.
Everyone's...
I remember I was talking to somebody too for the longest, before we actually met up. And even when we met up, I just thought it was weird because, like, what do we talk about? Because I kind of, like, this is our first time meeting, but I felt like I got to know you already. The last month we texted.
Yeah.
And I can't ask, like, the first time meeting questions. I just feel weird.
That's why it's like, to me, it's confusing, Like, I don't really have a set theory on or set ideology on the internet or whatever, the philosophy or whatever, but it's there, like it exists, and it's just tough to navigate because we're literally the last generation.
Because regardless, the internet gonna make you money, bro.
Yeah, and that's the part, where it's like, fuck, like I'm literally tied to this shit. If I cut the umbilical cord of social media, you think work's gonna slow down? Of course.
Yeah.
That's why it's like I'm trying to navigate in a smart way, but I'm still... We're the last generation that went outside. And that's so hard to believe, bro, because you ask your parents, hey, how was outside? Like, your parents are dumb on the phone for a reason. Because this is unfathomable in their mind back when they were in our age. Like, my dad probably never knew there was going to be a wireless phone.
But even, I don't know, I just feel like it's also adapting with time. Because I feel like if I was an old person, like, I feel like using a phone is really not that hard.
It's not.
There's not. So I think, like, people don't, they're not used to it, so they just dismiss it.
But do you think that's because there's a duality you grew up in? You grew up with the technology in your life.
So old
people didn't. Therefore,
exactly.
That duality doesn't exist. This is foreign to them. Even though it could say text here, for them it's going to be odd just seeing a digital screen with letters. Like, whoa, we used to have typewriters.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do this?
That's what I'm saying. You adapt to times, but if you're a person that gets stuck in your ways, then you're just gonna always want to do what you're used to.
I feel like the only people that were on top of the time were people that didn't like back in the 90s. Like, if you had a big ass phone, you were rich. But those are people that were they could easily adapt to the next phone. They could easily adapt to texting on the phone.
The internet has not affected, but it's changed. I feel like the approach of real estate, huh?
For everything.
Because people are looking for their houses online now.
I think everything.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everything. Shopping.
So how do you feel about like a Zillow or like websites where it's like, we don't need a realtor. I can just get a house like this, because that affects your pockets.
Well, I mean, I feel like people are still craving that human interaction.
Yes.
So I think that's a thing. I actually have... I'm not going to get too in-depth with it because there's certain ideas I can't go too in-depth with because that's my company. I got a company now.
Right.
And I basically want to... I know they're already doing it, but I really want to get into AI to where one day I have a real estate company running completely off of AI and we don't need humans anymore, personally. And the thing is too, to set it up to where it's like whatever the client wants. Like, we could have someone that's servicing the client, a human being, where they do have that human interaction, or it's just all AI. I'm thinking like future, long term, but right now I feel like there's nothing like a human interaction. Something that I learned when I did my first ayahuasca ceremony, you're really supposed to detach from social media.
From technology.
Yeah, so I got rid of it. And I cannot... The first 3 days I was jittery. It was like I was having withdrawals from a drug. And after that, I felt so free. I felt so at peace. And I felt like I was in hiding, like I was under the radar, and no one knew what I was doing, and I loved it.
And that's why I like doing it the way I do it. Because it's like...
You're always under the radar.
Exactly. But I could be active. I could pop up on you and be like, yo, what's up? Across the world. You don't know where I'm at though.
That's true. I feel like that's how X died.
But you still wake up and check your IG.
Yeah, and
you still wake up and you go straight to the thing. Like waking up and looking at your phone that's already bad in itself.
I feel like you gotta. So I have a morning routine, and in my morning routine, I never let myself check my phone until my morning routine is done.
Do you have a physical alarm clock?
My phone wakes me up,
and that's what I mean by this is the pivot point for the rest of our lives, because there's everything on there, bro.
Yeah.
What's the point of a watch? What's the point
Looks
of a
dope.
house phone?
Wow.
You seen a Rolex?
I'm weird. I don't need an alarm. I literally just wake up.
Yeah, he weird.
That's weird. I don't follow. No, I dead ass, bro. Like if I have to be at work at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'll be up at 12:30. I just instill it in my brain, and I'm up at 12:31. It's weird.
I can't.
It's weird. No matter how tired I am, how many hours I slept.
Human alarm.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's what I mean by like we in a weird. Because look, the dystopia era we going towards. That's what I mean by this a pivotal point. Once the phone came out, we just kept getting updates, right? Updates to new phones and new phones, new technology, aka iPhone 5S. You could take that apart and make it into a hologram. You could make hologram displays out of an iPhone 5S based off the hardware it comes with. Amazing, revolutionary. But the overall idea was it for it to be touchscreen, blah blah blah, do everything. Now we're getting into virtual reality.
Yeah.
Don't you think your son is now going to be taking virtual reality tours in houses?
Oh yeah.
You don't think he's
Well,
going
what's
to
a game changer?
Super. They have shit like that.
A model
Like,
house to
it's
VR?
It's called Matte 3D.
Yeah.
Matter 3D or some
Yeah.
shit like that. It's like 5K for the camera. But I feel like the next era is going to be like the crazy point of this era is going to be how we see movies like Gamer, where we see movies
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One.
That-
So because the reason why I'm saying that is, think about it. Now they're gonna have AI. They're gonna have artificial intelligence fighting our wars, right? So human lives are not as a disposal. I like that idea, but
That's a weird concept.
very weird because it's like, how do I defeat you? Because you're not technically losing anything.
And then why are we even fighting?
And why are we even fighting, right? So then you go into that, right? And you go into that, and then people are like, why are we even fighting? One world government pops up in my head the first time you say, why are we even fighting? Because people would want peace. One world government comes into play, right? Then you have countries that block off certain social media sites when the internet should be universal. The internet should be a free, untouched thing. You break the law on there, cool. We go investigate and we go and find you. But it's also, to me, the internet is one of those things where it's your second version of free will.
Yeah.
And there's going to be people that are like, hey, I'm big in real life. I'm putting on the headset. I got a skinny person as my avatar. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to hang out with my friends. But in reality, they kicking back.
No, I see that for sure, yeah.
And that's what I'm so... like.
It's going to go there.
My mind is wrapped around that because doing shrooms in LA, I felt like... You ever seen Wanted? The movie where the bullet curves and shit?
Yeah.
With Jolie?
I was pretty much the bullet going through LA. And I saw it for what it was. It was like, wow, this person, that person, all these people got off right now at 5:30. Wow, they're all walking towards the same direction. Wow, but I'm just this bullet going through this entire matrix where it's like, they pretty much put you in a room and it's like, imagine a psych ward and everything around is decorated by shit you like. Everything. Pictures of your son, pictures of houses you want to sell, your favorite classic rap albums, your favorite food. Every fucking thing Joel likes is in this room on the wall. Would you ever question if there's a door?
I probably would because I'm woke, but average person, no, not at all.
Not at all. And I feel like that's what this is. Like, you kind of put yourself in a room.
This guy's smart.
And you decorate it with what you like. And then marketing comes in. Retargeting marketing comes in. Direct market. Like, all these different types of war strategies come in on how to get you to decorate your one room even more. Like MySpace, I was able to discover new music. I was able to see new artists near me, Nothing was based off algorithm. Nothing was based off of anything. It was literally, you post a minute ago, we gonna see it a minute ago.
I like that.
But I think I think MySpace was more personal because you really just had like, I didn't never had random people on MySpace.
Yeah, of course it was, but that's where the internet allowed it to where it's like you random and you on the internet. That makes our encounter a lot less nerve-wracking than it would be in physical, because more people would contact you over text than phone. I love getting phone calls now.
I've been though. I mean, like if it's in a beast.
You're saying that because we grew up in the last era before technology.
That's true.
Like your kids are not.
But there's a lot of people our age too. That's just like, don't call me. If you don't call me, I'm not answering.
That's what I mean. So this being the pivotal point, it's very scary seeing my peers, my generation go, oh, I got the new iWatch, got the new headset, got the new phone, I got the new this. But to me, it's like, bro, you got a 4-car garage with nothing in it, and everything is what you like. When the fuck are you gonna step outside?
That's what I learned from ayahuasca was that we are basically constricting ourselves more to where like we can't even converse with someone. We can't. And I started learning that like we have these like energetic blockages where we can't express ourselves. Like there's people in my family, there are things that I want to tell them so badly, but I feel this like blockage.
Back to the chameleon thing.
And ayahuasca shows you, if you break through the blockage, this is what will actually happen. And so what I seen was like, I don't know, man.
When you did, sorry to cut you off. When you did ayahuasca, I mean, have you done DMT?
Yeah.
How how is it different?
I would say DMT is like sticking your toe in the pool, and ayahuasca is like jumping into the ocean.
What about 5-MeO DMT?
So you need to do the toad.
What?
What about 5-MeO DMT?
What's that?
That's
toad.
straight from the toad.
I don't know.
That's a 20-minute thing.
I'm sure it's
Someone
deep.
described it as jumping into the heart of God.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, ayahuasca lasts like 8 hours.
Oh shit! Did you shit and piss and all that?
My second time I threw up. Yeah.
You did it like in a forest, or where'd you do that?
No, I did it in a house in the hills.
How much was the ceremony?
$333.
Love Bell 88888. Is that her?
No.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
I just because of the number, the triple number.
Because all her prices are angel numbers too. That's why I was tripping.
That's probably a thing for them. Though.
It's a thing.
But
Yeah.
Pachamama said hers wasn't.
She don't do ceremonies though.
But she doesn't have angel numbers as any price, even the rape ceremony.
Oh, that's true.
But so ayahuasca, okay, lasts 8 hours. But what is it like, body wise? Because when you're on DMT, you don't feel you feel your last breath and that's it.
I can only speak for me,
Talk.
but your body will never be the same. When you do ayahuasca, it's not the same. So I did ayahuasca, and you'll notice like your body just starts shaking.
Yeah, people always look weird on it.
And I went to this place where I've never done meth, but it felt like I was on meth, and everything was very robotic and chaotic. And I saw these like robots / reptilian things, and they were watching me, and they were observing me, and I was looking at them.
This is all while you're physically awake.
Yes.
So
you can close your eyes and experience, or you can open and see. You're going to experience something either way. But yeah, I saw this, and my body's just shaking, and my teeth are like this. So now when I meditate...
Because the temperature.
Yeah, you get really cold.
Well, it's not you get real cold. All your senses are overloaded. Therefore, a slight breeze feels even colder
That
than
makes sense.
normal.
Yeah.
Because when I was on acid, when I was in the shade, jaw just...
Wow.
In the sun, I felt like I was dripping sweat.
Wow.
But I was normal.
Wow.
But that's just how your body, that's the senses.
So like now when I meditate, sometimes my body will start shaking. But my understanding of it from like a spiritual perspective is that that's just energy moving through my body. So I just go with the flow. But yeah. But
did it taste nasty?
The second one did. The first one I had was from Hawaii, and I had just got back from Hawaii, and it was very synchronistic. The second one I had was from Peru, and it was very bitter. I almost instantaneously threw up.
Peru is where
That's the real shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the big ceremonies happen there.
Yeah.
You fly out there you just pay for your flight. That's it. The rest they take care of you.
The guy that did my second one, he's been to Peru like several times. He's trained in the Amazon, but he's actually Italian. He looks like Jesus, and he speaks Aramaic. So he does half of the ceremony in Aramaic, which is the language that Jesus spoke. And dude, it's powerful.
Damn.
Yeah.
You down with that? But okay, so 8 hours, right?
I'd rather do the toad than ayahuasca.
Cause you asleep. 8 hours though, cause like when I did
That's
DMT,
8 hours, bro.
when I did
Doesn't feel
DMT,
like it. Time's an illusion.
So the whole time you're tripping though? So there's not, do you have a come down or how did?
Yeah, it just kind of wears off.
it's like a body high, huh?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's just energy running through you.
Do you
where
feel
like, what
hungry
the fuck?
after? You don't want nothing to eat?
Yeah,
like,
you're supposed to fast before. After you have like a vegan meal. Vegetarian vegan meal.
Damn.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah.
But because like
Yeesh.
when I did DMT, the first time was like the best time I did it. It was funny because there's 3 hits you're supposed to take, right? And the third hit you're out. But by the first hit, everything went like super widescreen. I got like the black bars in my vision. I'm like looking at shit like a movie. I'm like looking at the table like, yo, this would be a dope cinematic shot. And
Yeah.
Mark's looking at like the table like, okay. And the second hit, I remember him asking me like, what does it feel like? I'm just giggling. What the fuck is going on? And I lift my arm up and I drop it, right? They said I smacked myself hard as fuck, but it felt like my fucking arm went through my stomach. It just kept going, never stopped. Like it almost went through my stomach, came out of my body, and did the same thing again. And then you go through, when you take the third hit for me was the scariest because your body's literally about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So your lungs, your brain, everything's about to go into this autopilot mode
Yeah.
without your brain going into autopilot mode. Because when you sleep, you're really just sleeping to turn your mind off and give it a break. Same thing when you yawn. You need to cool it down. For me, that last breath feeling like, hey, I just took my last breath and now my soul's out of my body.
Yeah.
That experience itself was like, whoa. Because I remember it like yesterday. Like you literally go, that's it. You out. By the time you exhale, your soul is out.
That's crazy.
Like by the time you go, and on your second hit, you start noticing your lungs changing. You start noticing the way you're breathing is because you're gonna go, instead of going regular, you're like, your body just starts doing it. Like you're pretty much fighting your body over autopilot or pilot. And the last breath is where it's like your body's like, hey, dog.
I'm out of here.
But you feel the soul leave and everything, bro. And like, shit tripped me out.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
On ayahuasca, though, what are the feel like?
Oh, so it's not like that at all. Yeah, so it's about 30, 40 minutes. You start seeing like a grid. And I remember looking out the window and there was like a hill and like trees. And it looked like I was looking at a Picasso painting. Next thing I know, I just start hearing weird sounds. They have certain like ancient sounds they play in music. And it's crazy because when they hit like the gong,
The vibration and shit.
you go through the gong and it's a world. And
Wow.
yeah, so like the like darkest part, I went to like what you would call hell, and I was like hanging out with demons,
Oh shit.
and they taught me things about myself. So sometimes I'll like joke like I learned a lot from demons because they showed me like stuff about myself. But so your mind a lot of times on ayahuasca, it will get caught in this loop where you'll get caught in like, so something I wanted to break was I would go through these periods where I was just, I mean, this is something that men deal with. And I think that because I grew up Christian, my view on sex was a lot different than the average person. I was like told you're supposed to wait till you're married. You know, like there's like loving a woman, there's lusting a woman. So I got very caught in this like lust cycle where my mind would just think sex, 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 sex. So what happened was when I did ayahuasca, I got in this like sex loop. And it was like there was sex all over me, but it was like so much sex going on around me that
disgusting.
I never wanted to experience sex again. But once I like breathed and I like brought all of the like energy through my chakras and I just let it go, I broke the loop. And that's how life is. Like I don't want to like say names, but there's people I know in my life, and I even still have some patterns. Like they have patterns and they've been in the same position for 5 years because they're unaware of the pattern they have, so they can't break it.
Yep. I just went through my little my little sexual cycle. I just lately broke it where I was like, you know, I'm done with the hoes.
And you know what I'm learning now is, since I'm not so much sexually driven, women are just attracted to me because they know that I have no intention with them. And then if it goes there, like if we have that vibe, it'll be something.
Yeah.
But it's amazing.
To me, it's not the opposite. I'm getting more attention, but it feels weird because it's like I kind of know what you want, but I'm not on that wave.
Exactly.
I'm not on that wave.
I even tell women like I'm celibate right now, and they'll be like,
what?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it turns them off.
No, it does. No, like I didn't. The girl wasn't. I don't know if she was turned off, but she was more intrigued.
Ah, that's interesting.
She was like, "Wait, you're not currently having sex?" I'm like, "Nah, I've been chilling for like the last 2-3 months." She was like, "What the fuck? Like, are you single?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm single. I'm just mad focused right now. I'm turning all my sexual energy into creative energy."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Wow, I'm so surprised you don't have a girlfriend." But like just bigging me up, you know? And I was like, "Cool, like, you know, I'm glad I took that interaction very well."
It's rare when you're not a typical guy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, even if like you were at one point, but it's rare when it's like, oh shit, like.
Oh, he leveled up. Now, like my Snapchat, I only have with like mainly girls, but I'm never really hitting on one. I'm never really flirting or anything like that. I'll post my bullshit on there. I'll get my reaction. I'll keep a funny combo going, and I did it.
Yeah.
Because within 30 minutes, I'm gonna be back on the computer. I'm gonna be back editing. I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah, you're focused.
So that was one of the big cycles I broke. Because before any of this, it was either I'm in a relationship or I'm hoeing.
Yeah.
There was never a period where I didn't go without sex. It was never like, oh, I went a year without sex. No.
Yeah.
Since I lost my virginity, it hasn't been like that. It's always been like, like 2 years before my last relationship, it was like, damn, like I got this many bodies. That's a lot. Now I'm like, I regret most of them.
Wow.
Like I really wish I could take it back and only sleep with 1 or 2 people.
I feel, man.
Can't relate.
I'm telling you too. Like when I did ayahuasca, it showed me. So there's like a lot of like hidden knowledge out there, you know, like occult knowledge, and I started studying all of that. And
occult knowledge, hidden knowledge.
Yeah. So what?
Let's get into it.
So what I learned was I actually learned this from my ex-girlfriend. She was very into this stuff, and she really changed my life. But she introduced me to this like concept of divine feminine, divine masculine, and like the union between the two. So when I did ayahuasca, it actually showed me like what a man and a woman's relationship is actually supposed to be like. And it's weird too, because like I got all this knowledge that I was unaware of. Like I know like tantra now, and like I want to be in a relationship where I'm practicing tantra, like
tantra sex. That's
like
wild.
It's crazy, man.
And I slept with someone that was on that wave, right?
Yeah.
What is this?
Tantra sex is just way more intimate. It's like it's like spiritual sex.
Like me looking in your eyes and putting my hand on your heart.
So you know where this is going. But I slept with this person, right? And they're into tantra, and it got to the point where they look me dead in the face while I'm just going in, right? Mm-hmm. And they can't keep a straight face, and they're just like, in my head, I'm like, cool, this is what I want. You can't keep a straight face. You're trying to talk. I like this. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, Manny, can you look at me? Bro, instant turn off. Instant turn off.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Instant turn off. Like, I came to him very mad, upset. I'm like, why the fuck would you want to look at me knowing this is a one-night stand? Why would you want tantric sex with me knowing I told you I don't want a relationship? Like,
she left her dude for him.
Yeah.
And it's like, bitch, we were never gonna get together anyways.
It was all of this. It was all of these precautions that happened to get to the sex part. But when it got to the sex part, halfway through, she looked me dead in the eye and said, Manny, can you look? But it was a very high pitched noise too, like, Manny, can you look at me? And I was just like, and my bro, like instantly, it felt like the moment she said me, and I was just like, I was caught, like, I was like, what the fuck? Whoa, what are you trying to do here? And that's when it clicked. I'm like, when everything was said and done, it clicked. I'm like, this bitch trying to have tantric sex with me. but it's a one night stand. That's not gonna mix.
And he didn't try to make her feel like I'm gonna be with you.
Yeah,
Like, from the jump, it was like,
yeah.
don't leave your boy for me. Like, I mean,
I told her all that. I'm like,
yeah.
you don't need to do any of that. We don't need to do this. We really don't. I want to, but we don't need to do this. And she proceeded to, break some relationships and do whatever. But it was just one of those things where it's like, that's when I was kind of exposed for the first time about tantric sex with someone that practiced it. I just felt like that person wasn't knowledgeable on who to practice it with unless they thought I was the one. And if that's the case, I'm sorry. Doubt she watching this, but
yeah, that's true. That's true.
if
She
she,
thought you were the one.
if she thought I was the one, that's probably why that was pulled off. But in my mind and all the conversations prior to that, it was like the tantra part was never really the field it was gonna be taken to. That's, to me, that's like my wife shit,
Yeah, I feel you. It's not something to abuse.
and it's not something to do with just anyone.
Because sex is powerful, bro.
It is. That's how I look at it.
And it's really sacred.
It's an energy exchange.
But because it's so corrupt now, so commercialized now, so that's why people just trying to fuck. We just trying to get our nut off, bro.
Exactly.
It's just.
But it's also the misunderstanding of hormones. You
But
get like that.
no, it's self-discipline.
I get that. But self-discipline comes through a lot of trial and error. I'm just now learning self-discipline now. This is after 7, 8 years of just having sex. And maybe fucking 12 years beating my meat. This is like a very long period for my mind to say, hey, this is sacred. This is an energy exchange. This is a lot deeper than what it is. But I feel like none of that would have happened if I was not doing what I did. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't go through whole phases or relationships like that and just a countless amount of empty partners, I wouldn't have known the importance of it now.
Yeah.
And if I had the whole tantra thing in my head instilled prior to all this, I would probably still be a virgin because I'm not married yet. And that would be the thing. Like, I'm trying to exchange this energy with the person I marry and not you because we dated for 4 months.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, I'm kind of happy I'm with you,
but that
motherfucker.
goes in back down to how it's being commercialized because the older you get, you're like, damn, I'm still a virgin. Like, you start tripping.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because it's like you get made fun of if you're young. You feel me? That shit. And some people, it's crazy when people be like, oh, I lost my virginity at 11. It's kind of like, damn.
whoa.
Yeah, it's like,
Yo,
how?
that's like, I try. I'm just like, okay.
Like that, I mean, at 11, I'm not gonna lie, I probably started maybe beating my meat at 11, probably, but it's
Not
like
even.
14 maybe for me.
Yeah. We're tired.
like 12-ish.
For me, it was like, I knew what my boner was, but when I first discovered porn on the DSL, I was like, oh, wait. Like, this shit instant.
Yeah, it's funny how when you first discover like porn on the internet, like especially when you first discover like a Pornhub type shit, was like, wait, it's like YouTube, but for like this?
No, my first time was...
shit.
I'll always remember it, but it was terrible.
I don't remember the first time I saw porn on the internet.
XN,
I think it was LimeWire download though, to be honest.
Wild. XNXX.
Bro, computer dev had viruses.
Yeah, you downloading full ass porn videos for sure a virus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember
But-
those days.
Yeah, you pretty much couldn't fuck with no condom on there. You let your computer get
Yeah,
involved.
and it was pre-Mac too, so it was definitely getting viruses.
Yeah. With me, the first time I remember XNXX came home from school early, and I'm just like so stoked on this shit, right? At the time, I'm looking at Latina bitches with ass. Click the first one, Maria Milano. I remember this shit like it happened yesterday, right? Hit play. I'm just checking out the video, right? 240p quality. Fucking door opens. I'm like, huh? Instead of closing this tab and just acting like I'm on the computer, nothing clicked. I kind of froze. So my sister, first thing she does was walk upstairs. And like, I'm not naked. I haven't started the thing yet. Like, you can see a little scan. Like, I was getting ready to, but I ain't start the thing yet, right? And she like, what the fuck you doing? And I'm like, I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, trying to figure out this virus, but I'm distracted right now. She's like, Manny, I'm not a fucking idiot.
That's your older sister?
Yeah, she's like, I'm not a fucking idiot. What are you doing? I was like, if you're not an idiot, you know what I'm about to do. But I'm not going to do it no more because you here. And she was just like, close this shit and I don't ever want to see it again. Don't talk about it. I was like, all right. So that was my first like attempt. But after that, I was just, I got fucking FBI after that. I'm like, fuck it. Bathroom fan on, fucking water running. I ain't paying rent here. I'm beating my meat. After that, it was fucking rap, bruh. After that, we fucking 12-year veterans. Ask me about the stars. That's where me and Woody connect. Me and him could talk about pornos all day. Just whether it's funny shit, dialogue, scenes, actresses, whatever.
I never watched those because I never liked them. I never liked the studio production porns.
Nah, you like amateur ones?
Yeah, I like the ones where I don't know the stars.
See, with me, I like the stars because, like, damn, this
That's
bitch...
why I know very little stars, because I like the more, like, in the car shit. Like, you feel me?
like real life situations.
Yeah, like a dude just recording his girl sucking the mouth. You feel me? Like,
I'm not into the amateurs. Only certain ones. There's certain stars that copyright their shit and they're amateur stars, but they're...
But the caption gotta capture my eye. I mean, the caption gotta hit.
Or like what? What the caption gotta say?
It can't just be like a...
Like,
I gotta catch my attention.
It
like,
can't be like amateur couple doing...
Yeah, no, I
doggy
gotta
style.
just be like a...
Bit sucking dick.
Yeah.
Got.
Yeah.
Hand double twist
like
motion.
if you were to upload your own porn shit, you put like gog 5,000, you know?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And then you're like, click. Yeah, I never forget when the homie shot out day one. When I was like, he broke up with his girl or whatever, and I was like, damn, I thought y'all not together no more. He's like, nah, but this though. And he sent me he uploaded it to X videos. Or XNXX. And he sent me the fucking, just the screenshot of the thing, like the page. Yeah, you couldn't push play, but he sent me the thing. It's his bitch's mouth on his dick and shit. I was like, what the and I know her, dog.
Wow.
So that's why it's funny. Like, I was like, damn.
Nah, like for me, it was just about stars because it was like, damn, these bitches got ass, titties. Like, I know she got ass and titties, so I'm gonna just click on the profile, see what dropped. It's almost like rap artists, bro. Like, let me see your catalog. Oh shit, you 30 years deep.
Yeah.
X, you too old. All right, you 10 years deep.
You never liked the cougar ones either?
Nah, like Lisa Ange, I know she most infamous cougar, but her nipples weird. Her nipples kind of, they point down, they go left and right, but like
I think I'm weird too though, cause like even before when I used to like look up shit, I never wanted to go back to the same people that I saw.
I always do. Like
I
Rachel
wanted
Starr.
to see new shit.
Rachel Starr is my goat.
That's why I think I like the amateur shit because people I don't know.
Star.
Who?
Patrick
Oh no, you're too PG.
I know, bro. We fucked up this whole interview
Fuck
talking about
that.
this.
Fuck that. He needs to talk about it. Let's
But
talk about it.
ayahuasca, I want you to talk more about like the whole demon shit, or like even like the people you saw, the reptilians and all that.
Wait,
because I've heard
before you get into that, you haven't done acid.
No.
You haven't done shrooms,
No.
but you've done ayahuasca and DMT.
Yeah.
So DMT, there's really no physical feeling, but everything's mental, and you come back with the physical feeling. If that makes sense. Like when I came down, I felt like I was brought down with a hand of love.
Yeah. Right.
And it just like brought me back to my place, and that's when I saw the grid. I saw the grid stuff almost as if it was the last part of Interstellar. When I came down, that's where I was like, "Oh fuck, where are we, Mark?"
Yeah.
How is it on ayahuasca as far as your first initial feelings? Like when you start feeling it, like on acid, you start feeling it kick in when like your vision's normal, right? But acid, it also overloads your senses. But like say if I was on acid right now, like 45 minutes gone in, you have this crazy intense body high, right? And then like 4 hours go by and you start looking at things. I can look at Chris right now and be like, I notice a lot more bumps on his forehead. And then I look even closer and it's like, damn, he has a scar. And then your mind's like, wait a minute, you're fucking tripping right now. You're on acid. It just kicked in. You wasn't paying attention to this shit before. But your senses, once you notice it's in, you start playing with it more. To where it's like, oh, 4K vision. I just saw all these little beads right here. Because acid, everything is on a whole nother, your hearing, bro, there's certain albums I want to listen to on acid. Because your hearing is like on a whole different level. Your smell is on a whole different level. Your vision, your taste, everything is like fucking, it's overflowing, right? DMT, I didn't really get all that. I got more of an internal overflowing feeling towards like my heart is so full right now of love, of good shit, of knowledge, of things I never known before. Well, ayahuasca, do you have initial physical feelings where you're like, hey, I'm tripping? You did mention your jaw kind of flickering, kind of your body's twitching a little bit, but is it like something that told you like, hey, Joel, time for this roller coaster?
I don't remember that. I just remember like everything looking different. Like there was a grid. and then everything kind of just looked distorted.
3D grid, right?
Uh-huh.
But
And
can you function around people? You literally have to be sitting down, or
No, you can walk.
you can walk around. So you know you're tripping, but the other people can't tell you're tripping.
Well, you're in a ceremony, so everyone in a circle is going through the same thing you are. Yeah.
Yeah, because on acid, I want to say I was kind of quite normal around everyone. But in my mind, I'm like fucking balls to the wall.
Yeah, because he was still talking to us. He was still mingling, but we knew he was tripping.
Yeah. I mean, you can talk, but you're not supposed to talk.
Just take it all in.
Yeah. You're not really supposed to talk.
And bro, that's like, I kind of, after acid, I kind of felt for a lot of homeless people. Because I'm like, hey, maybe you're not naked because you don't have clothes or you tripping on drugs. Maybe this is how you really feel. Because like an overload of serotonin, you're now considered schizophrenic. But serotonin is what keeps you happy. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, are these people seeing a whole different dimension than I am?
That's what I was wondering too.
Because
you seen Joker?
No.
Oh man,
I want to. I have.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Take your baby mama out. Do it, bro. Nice little date.
Yes, ayahuasca.
Did obviously you came back and applied a lot of it to your life. So how does you see it affect? What did you apply to your real estate life, or to your realtor life?
I would say he probably applied it to his real life. And
Well, no, yeah, but how did it affect your like real estate?
So I started doing something. Again, this is occult knowledge I'm about to share with you guys. It's called the Great Work. And what the Great Work is basically going into your shadow self, confronting it, becoming ultra aware of these instances when you do feel like fear or anxiety, then taking that and sitting with it and processing the information. Another thing I do too is I time travel a lot. Ayahuasca also taught me how to like embody people. So like there's certain people in my life. Like I recently actually had this experience with my son's mom where I saw all of the love and the caring she had for me and the compassion and the endurance and just being there for me. And I was able to almost like become her and embody her and experience myself through her. And I learned how to do this through ayahuasca. So what I did was, since ayahuasca, I've probably cried like 30 times. So I just start crying. And then a few days later, like I saw her and I apologized for everything. And we cried together and it was like really magical. But it's taught me how to do stuff like that and letting go of all of these things with like different family members. Or like I did breath work recently.
What's breath work?
Breath work is, so back in the day, like it was hidden and only certain people could only, like you had to be initiated and be able to do it. But breath work is like doing different things with like breath repetitions. Like I do this one. It's
like, all right, I'm from India, bro. The fucking yogi.
Yeah.
The yogi guy. He's always teaching you about breathing.
Yeah.
A lot of that, I consider it bullshit, but
really?
I'm going to let you continue just because growing up in an Indian household.
Okay.
In our day and age, a lot of me was like, Mom, that's bullshit. Like this dude's fucking breathing on TV. How's that yoga?
Yeah, that's why I'm so glad I didn't grow up in that culture because I appreciate it so much. So I do this thing where it's like, and you do that like, I don't know, like 7 minutes. At the end, you hold it and you could hold your breath probably for like 2 minutes. But what you start to have is like your eyes are closed. You start to have visions. And the last one that I did, like that was really intense. I basically wanted to understand why I have paranoia. So I've had times where like I felt like people were going to kill me. And then what I had remembered was that my grandpa that I never met, he was actually killed. And so my dad, when he was in the army, he had a gun pointed to his head a few times, and he said that it changed his life. Like he wasn't a psychopath, but he became like crazy, and he was just wild, right? And then my dad ended up becoming a Christian, peaceful guy, cool, whatever. But I started realizing that like all of that stuff was trapped inside of me. So what I did was I took myself back to my grandfather and my father, and I felt all my father's like fear and like what he was going through, and I felt like my grandfather, and I saw like the gun go off and I died, and it was like I transcended and I had this nirvana like experience. It sounds so weird, I know, but what that did was it just made me feel light as a feather. Wow. So now when I'm going into business and I'm talking to people, they can feel like how light I feel, how happy and loving I feel, because I'm letting go of all this energetic crap on me.
I feel like people notice positive and severely negative energy. Mm-hmm. Like those are mainly the two that they feel.
Yeah.
and I wouldn't consider it technically positive. Like, yeah, it's positive overall, but I feel like there's many different lanes for positivity. You doing that through breathing and, cycling back to your grandpa and through your dad, all, like you said before, all that's embedded in your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would need to do something like that to kind of see more about my dad's life, because I don't really know too much about him. And I feel like bro's clock is ticking. And I don't think he has it in his heart to truly be vulnerable in front of his kids and say, hey, this is my life. Because most of my convos with him, he's been drunk, like where by the time he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't recollect what he said. Therefore, it's not in his mind like, yo, I gave a piece of myself out. So a lot of the conversations I've had with my dad is like, I don't take you serious, bro. You're drunk. I don't believe that story. But
it's real thoughts.
There are thoughts, and I feel like there are a lot of real stories, because most of my memories with my dad are just stories when he's drunk, like trying to lecture me or something. Says, hey son, it could be like I broke my thumb and my dad's gonna sit me down and say like, I sold my first car like this. Like, that's how the stories, it would be something totally unrelated to what I'm going through in life, but it's something he got out. And a lot of the times I would discredit it, right? Like, no, I don't believe you left for that reason or this and that. But like, my mom's the type to like confirm a lot of it. And I feel like there's just something that has happened. I feel like my dad's older brother committed suicide. I was very, very young. But like, me seeing that hasn't really affected me, I guess. And I feel like a lot of my dark creativity comes from that. Because just seeing, like, you see it. You pretty much see what this person decided to do. But I feel like for my dad, too many people did that in his life while he was growing up. And I feel like there's just something blocking, like a fucking brick wall that's 40 inches thick, like you just don't know what's really stopping him. And if you were able, is your dad open with you, or did you mentally did that knowing, hey, this is the only way I could kind of get in tune with the family history and release these demons that people held on and embedded in my DNA?
Yeah, what I realized was that I started to become aware that I had a problem with strong masculine energy.
Same.
And so I wondered, like, where did that come from? But I realized it came from something that happened when I was a kid, something that I did that I perceived as wrong, but I was a kid, so what I was doing, like, I didn't know was wrong, but my dad, like, scolded me because in his mind it was wrong, and it was, like, wrong, but it wasn't wrong. So...
It wasn't wrong because you were a kid.
Yeah,
but
right? But he was just trying to tell me, like, you're not supposed to do that, right? But the way my mind perceived it. So I always had, like, this problem with, like, masculine energy. And then, too, like, some of the men in my family lack patience. And I'm a very slow person. And I have to be hands-on. So if they would flip out at me, or like I was bad at math, my teachers would get frustrated with me. So I couldn't voice my opinion. So as I started to like really dive into this and realize I have an issue with like masculine energy, because when I'm around men that are too masculine, I feel like I can't stand up for myself. Or when I'm around women like my ex-girlfriend that is a little stronger, I couldn't stand up to her or like just, be a leader, be a man that she needs. The man that her father wasn't. And so when I started realizing this, that's when I said, okay, like, let me go back to my father's lineage. And then even like my mom's dad, let me like explore his lineage. Like his dad died in a gutter with like a beer bottle in his hand. And I didn't realize how long people hold on to trauma. It was, my grandpa's like 80 and it was probably like a year ago. He broke down, never seen him cry, broke down, started weeping at the table. He was still hurt about something that happened like 50 years ago, his dad dying. And I was just like, whoa. So I've been going back down like the lineage, and ayahuasca allows you to, like, say if your father were to do ayahuasca, it would show him where that pattern started, and it would show him how to break it.
That's if he has a mental capability of breaking it down as a pattern.
It will show him.
Because I feel like there's two types of people, and you run into these two types of people when you're into hallucinogens. People that do it a trip, and people that get the experience out of it.
Okay.
So him being an alcoholic for 50 plus years is like, bro, you've been.
I think you have to kind of already want to be on a spiritual journey to it to benefit you.
Yeah.
Or
that's
Like
what,
you did it because like it was
You-
a point in your life where it's like, nah, I
you
think
knew
this
what
might
you
help.
wanted out of it.
Exactly. You knew
Yeah.
what you wanted out of it.
And I feel like I really want him to do ayahuasca and nothing else. Like one of my biggest things right now. So I just told my mom I did DMT last weekend. Like when I saw her, I just explained to her like, yeah, I smoked. I did a very quote unquote terrible drug, but she was open to it. It was weird.
Yeah.
But my dad, I feel like if he did it, yes, it would benefit him, and I think that would cure a lot of his mind. But I feel like the damage he has done internally to himself as a soul is too late. As sad as that is to say, I feel like they're really, at this point, it's just like, you do it or you don't.
Sometimes I even think that we don't even take into account what our dads like went through, or even like, did your dad have a dad? I mean, obviously you had a dad, but did you grow up with a dad?
He did, but my dad's like me. Where I get my independence from is my dad, 100%. Where I get that, fuck that, let's do this. I'll drive on the wrong side. Like where I get the craziness is from my dad, but he got that because he wasn't really parented. Because India is one of those things, and especially in that time where it's like, you're 11-year-old with the AK, whatever.
Yeah.
So my dad grew up with that type of mindset.
That's why sometimes I don't blame my dad, because my dad's amazing. You know, always been there for us. You know, always done everything for his family. But I don't have a closer connection to my mom because I can get deep with my mom. I can talk to her about certain things. And with my dad, it's not that I can't. It's just that even growing up, he just focused so much on just work and taking and providing. But at the same time, I feel like he doesn't know how to be a dad because he didn't have a dad growing up. It was just he was raised by a single mom, and the mom's always working, so you can't really blame him.
I feel like I agree and I disagree. I feel like you can't blame them because they are your parent. You have that umbilical cord. You have that empathy towards them. Like, hey, I do
But
kind
at
of
some
see.
point, you gotta be like,
you gotta take
self-aware.
Yeah, you gotta. At some point, you gotta be held accountable for your own actions. Because me, I grew up in almost the same sense as my dad did. Only thing is, I didn't live through a genocide. That's the only thing. I feel like genocide itself fucked my dad up mentally.
Yeah.
That's trauma.
Because
I can only imagine.
He had to flee India. He had to flee home 17. It happened it happened a little bit before 83. That's when he got married. So I think he was 30 by then. But he fled. He pretty much was on the run his whole life just because the politics and going to the UK and not knowing different languages. Like my dad at one point knew 7 languages because how many places he's been at.
Wow.
But none of it stuck because he's always been on the wheel. When I was growing up in New York, I didn't know my dad because he was working so much. And I didn't know, as a kid, I was like, I don't like you because you were never there. Like I learned how to do everything on my own. Ride my bike, I learned how to fix my own chain. I learned how to work the TV. I learned a lot of things on my own, right? So with my dad, he didn't know how to ride a bike. So it was like, how can I...
Yeah.
So there's times where I look back and I'm like, damn, like, I'm very hard on my dad because I don't really have a relationship with him. Like, to me, he's a very stubborn older brother at this point. And I'm like... And not even a good older brother. Like, one I want to beat the fuck out of. But that's just because the absence has been so strong. Like, for my sisters, they don't really feel the absence, right? But for me, it was like, if my dad having a bad day, he taking it out on me.
But did your dad show the same type of love to all of his kids, or does he embrace his girls
women,
more?
The women. More, okay. My older sister never got hit. Younger sister never got hit. I took both their beatings. So it was pretty much 3 beatings on one body. If I did bad, I got hit. They did bad, I got hit. And it was always that pressure, like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you to make you a man. Growing up, like, that was the motto. And I remember Banda Banja, that's the term. Become a man. And that would happen after getting beat. Not whooping, not like spanking on the butt. It'd be like, hey, I'm beating the fuck out of you right now.
Like socking you?
Socking me, belts.
Oh shit.
Wire anything you could get your hands on, bro. Like
Mexican shit? Or older traditional Mexican shit?
Yeah, like anything you could get your hands on, bro. And the thing was, he worked 3 jobs. And I was always the independent one. So I was the kid that outside the house at 4 years old. I was a kid at 5 years old climbing through windows. Hey, what's this neighbor doing? Oh, he got a Gundam? I'm gonna take this Gundam. I was that kid, like, but again, I didn't really have parenting because both parents were at work. So with my dad now, like, I was, bro, very, very hard on him. And a lot of the times I catch myself telling, like, yo, you're a little too hard. Like, maybe give him a hug. But then the ego comes out and it's like, fuck that. Like, fuck you. Like, we went through way too much for me to be nice to you like that. You gotta earn it. Like, you gotta earn my love now. Because
I think he has to realize it. What he's done wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And that's...
You don't think he knows, though?
I think... it's so hard to say. Yeah, it's so hard to say.
Because then again, he probably does know, but his pride gets in the way and it's like...
Because it's like, I could say he knows, but again, the pride could get in the way.
But some people think just because... Some people think shit expires, bro.
Some people also think...
Like, they think because it's been so many years, like, you're over it. It's like, no.
My dad's the type to say... My dad's the type to show love through buying me shit. My dad never really bought me shit. But he's always been there in very critical moments. Hey, Dad.
Because he's still your dad and he loves you.
Yeah. And that's hard to say you love somebody. Like, it's almost like it being in a fake relationship, you know? Like,
bro, everyone shows love differently.
That's the thing.
It is. And my dad my dad does a shitload for me, but he can't. It's hard. Like, we barely started saying "I love you" to each other.
And I only got that once from my dad. Out of everyone in my family, I've been the only one he's told "I love you" to. Not even my mom. Out of 30 years, but he takes pride in that. I take pride in not saying "I love you," and I'm just like, what? Like, and it was random when he said "I love you." It was random. It was on.
He wasn't drunk?
Nah, he was driving. It was on Valentine's Day about 3 to 4 years ago. And I was just I was shook for weeks. I remember for weeks I was like confused on my entire relationship with my dad because I had all this anger built up for him.
That goes back to the love, your love for him that you try to just put aside because you're mad.
No, 100%. I love my dad, and I feel like the tough part about my relationship with my dad is I'm the only boy. So I'm going to be the only one taking care of him. But I'm also the only one that didn't go to college. And I'm also the only one that is freelancing. So with all this pressure around somebody doing this shit 100% by themselves with no degree, you start thinking like, yo, my sisters aren't going to be there when he old. They going to still remember him for how he treated them when they were younger. So they going to have that love. For me, it's like, I'm taking care of you, dog, and you were beating the fuck out of me for...
Because you know what's right.
I know.
At the end of the day. And you cannot just be like, fuck you, Dad.
I can't.
As much as you want to be like, fuck you, Dad, you can't.
And that's the pressure. That's the pressure where it's like, I want to just show you that every fucked up little thing you ever did kind of created this, like, person. And it created this world around this person, and all your actions did something for me in a negative way, which I made positive. But like my mom gets it. I'm able to talk to my mom. My mom's able to say, I'm sorry. I did this. Like if I bring up, hey mom, remember when you would beat me? She could tear up in front of you. Like, don't bring that up right now. We have guests over. Like, don't bring that up. My dad, on the other hand, is the type to like brag about it. He's the type to be like, yeah, I beat the shit out of you. I loved it. And you start, as an adult, you trip out to where it's almost like... Yeah. Now it's like, me thinking about having kids, I never brought a girl home. So it's almost like, how do I explain this to my lover? And then how is he going to be with my son? That's also the part where I'm like really confused about, because like, I'm never going to treat my son the way my dad treated me. But I'm also this like amazing ass person. Yeah. And that was part of the formula, whether I like it or not. Yeah. That was part of my life. I can't take that out. So with my kid, I don't want to beat my kid. I want to do none of that. And I just know
you got it though sometimes.
Like the relationship my son or my child is gonna have with my dad is gonna make me feel away. You get what I mean?
Your dad's gonna love your child more than you. Yeah. Off top. And he's probably gonna, the way he probably wanted, he wishes he could have been with you. Yeah. How he's gonna treat him.
And that's what
I hear a lot of grandparents say that.
The biggest part about like...
They like grandkids more than their own kids. That's a fact.
Biggest part about my relationship with my dad, though, I feel like he's gonna say I like all his regrets and I'm sorry's when he's on his deathbed. So that's gonna be my last memory of him. It's not gonna be happy. It's just gonna be him kind of getting rid of all my, like him attempting to get rid of the resentment I have with him so he could die in peace. But I'm going to live with that, you know, like, fuck, hey, you fucked me up by telling me you're sorry. You didn't tell this to my sister. It would be different if I had another brother, you know? This whole story would be different if I had another brother. Mm-hmm. But I'm the only boy.
What if it was all men?
That too, it'd been way different. Because now it's like the three of us got to take care of them.
And to your culture, men take care of the men?
The men don't move out of the house. Because it's not a family you start. You continuing the name.
So that's why everyone's always like the same household everyone's in.
Really?
It's continuing the name, bro. So out there in India, it's fucked up. I hate how the culture is. But if you're a girl, they look at you useless.
Huh.
My grandpa was looked down upon. The only reason my grandpa was able to like keep afloat was because he was the mayor of the town. He was a very big, high-end head honcho of the town, but he had 8 daughters. None of his land could continue to those daughters.
Yeah.
So now it's like, fuck, my family name dies off here. It wasn't me when I was 18. It
9
was
daughters, bro.
It was
crazy.
It was me when I'm old. Is when I learn. When I go through, 3/4 of my life is when I learn I don't have no one to give this shit to. So for me, like
that's the grandpa you go see now.
Yeah.
Mom's dead.
So now with me, it's like I always think about it. It's like I'm glad I'm the only boy, but I definitely like the family name now is almost like very, very, very important for me. To where it's like I think.
But do you carry on that tradition?
I want to break the cycle, and I want to start a new tradition through the broken cycle because I don't want that hard labor. Work 3 jobs. I don't want none of that. I don't want dead end warehouse jobs. I don't care if my kids go to college. None of that. I don't want no restrictions. You want to play rap music loud as fuck? Do it. Because you trust you the way I trusted myself throughout all this. Therefore, I want you to grow to be the biggest fucking flower in the world. Whether you water yourself, I water you, whatever the case is. But it's the family name now. Now that's how I look at it. And that happened through DMT. Because my visualization through DMT... As I'm like this, my eyelids are pointing down, right? My pupils, eyes closed. Pupils, though, looking that way. I see the 2 elves that people talk about in my face. Just in my face, telling me, let go, let go, let go. It's starting to scream, and I'm just, like, terrified. I'm like, whoa, bro, you guys about to strip me naked. They back up, and as my pupils go like that, and I'm laying down, my pupils are going like that, right? Each little... frame is a different fucking time in their life. And the end of it all, they have tons of kids, tons of land, tons of animals, beautiful sunset. And all of this is shapes, but your brain kind of tells you what the fuck it is. And since then, I work so much now without taking on a lot of mental stress because I'm like, my kids. And it's going to get to the point where it's like, my grandkids. My grandkids. But yeah, like it's being with the relationship I have with my dad now is very confusing as a young adult. That's why I try to separate it. Like kind of just like I'm gonna just go based off what I have in my head and not think about that and kind of build with my partner and build with my family and go on and then try to. But the thing is, I gotta live with dude. That's the hard part. So it's almost like you're reminded every day, like, hey.
Fuck you at the end of the day.
It's tough, bro. I barely see my dad now. I try to avoid him still.
Wow. Yeah, so if you do ayahuasca, you'll be able to understand him. You'll be able to understand yourself, and he would be able to understand himself as well.
I'm thinking about probably planning a trip with him and both of us doing it.
Go to Peru with him.
You think he'd be down?
I don't think so.
Yeah, what kind of shit is this, Manny?
I don't think so.
Fuck out of here.
But one of my biggest dreams is to like literally crack open a beer with my dad. That's one of my.
Yeah, you drank with him? Wow.
No, because I hate it. I hate when he drunk. Bro got what's the livers where your liver's pretty much fucked up?
Cirrhosis.
He got that, and it's like I don't want to drink with you. I really don't like.
That makes sense.
Bro's been drinking since he was 12.
That's crazy.
He's almost 60. I think he turned 60 last year. He's 61 this year. Since he was 12, bro, the liver's gone. The doctor, he got a big humble. His ayahuasca was his doctor's.
Wow.
Because whole life, bro, 13, 14, hey, Dad, stop drinking. You're not going to see Karen's wedding. You're not going to see Karen's wedding. My little sister getting married now, and doctor gives him the news. He's like, fuck. Holy shit. Whoa. Why? And I feel like he kind of going through a crisis. Because it's like, I need to stop something I've been doing for how long? Like my entire teenage years, my adult years, my fucking
Doesn't drugs like DMT and ayahuasca, doesn't that stop like habits
Yeah.
or addictions? I mean,
Yeah, that's what they found. So one of the biggest ayahuasca retreats is called Rhythmia. I think it's in Costa Rica, and the guy, he was like multimillionaire, very successful entrepreneur. He was addicted to heroin and meth, I believe, and he said he tried to quit for years, and the only thing that broke it was ayahuasca. So he was so grateful to the plant that he formed this center called Rhythmia, and now people can go there, and it's like a week-long experience. And
I think that's Peru.
No, there's one in...
Because the dude from Peru got a very similar story. I don't know exactly what it is. It's a week long.
So...
You pay for the flight, and he pays for everything else, because he's rich as fuck.
It might be like similar. So there's a movie on Netflix, there's a documentary with, I forget her name, she's in Fast and Furious.
Michelle Rodriguez?
Her and that guy, they go to Peru, and they did it together, and then he went and formed the place in Costa Rica.
Wait, they got visuals of Michelle Rodriguez doing ayahuasca?
They don't show her doing it, but like she goes there and she talks about it and her experience with it.
Definitely gotta watch.
Yeah.
So, you seen the Mike Tyson one?
I see Mike Tyson on Joe Rogan.
No, Mike Tyson, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, his own podcast.
Oh no,
And he had the doctor that talks about the toad.
First episode on the podcast. It's a doctor from Mexico that talks about the toad, and Mike Tyson does it on the podcast. They don't show him doing it, but they show him after.
They talk about it. They cut it off. He goes in the room and does it. And then he comes back and he records it after he comes back down.
Yeah,
and he's just like
that episode, and check out the one with Joe Budden. Those two episodes, fucking chef's kiss.
He's basically become like the endorsement for
DMT.
5-MeO DMT.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I always chicken out of doing these things.
But
I don't know. The toad thing kind of scares me.
No, but I mean, like, I've had the opportunity to do DMT, said no, passed. I had the opportunity to do acid, passed. Shrooms, passed. Acid, passed.
Rape, you said yes to, and then you said I'm open to
That
DMT.
seems scary too.
Rape is not scary at all.
I was scared though, but I was. Because it was like the first time I ever participated in, like, quote unquote. It wasn't an actual official ceremony, but it was like she kind of tried to do a little bit of it. She put the music on, started doing her little singing, doing the whole vibe. She did it herself first, and I was like, damn, kind of scared because she was gonna blow something up your nose. So I'm like, oh shit.
She did it on mine. He saw the teardrops come down.
Yeah, because I saw how Manny reacted, and I got even more. I was about to chicken out.
What was that like?
So it's like a tobacco they extract from like tree bark. Almost just the same thing as DMT, but instead of DMT, it's like tobacco. I wouldn't even say tree bark. It's from a different plant. I don't even know how they get it or whatnot, but it's a very fine brown powder, right? And I never snorted anything. I never done coke. I never done hard drugs besides DMT.
But that's the thing. We didn't snort it either.
We didn't snort it either, right?
So like she just blew it in our nose and it just hits the brain.
So I'm not used to none of these effects. I'm not used to nasal,
Yeah,
none of that,
that
right?
stuff scares me.
So,
like, nah.
So when she blew it in, bro, that bitch hit.
Yes.
Like, it almost feels like it hit right here. And you're just like...
It's like if you ate something super spicy, like a chili, kind of in a way.
That bitch hit,
it
bro.
burns.
It burns. But
But
it's quick. It's like maybe 3 Mississippis, it's gone. And mentally, you're somewhere else.
Yeah, it's weird. And it helps with your respiratory system.
And then your whole nasal, like he was congested.
Everything comes out. She was like, don't blow your nose until everything just comes out. So you hit it, you do the thing, and you start spitting out black shit. Like all your mucus just starts falling out.
She said, don't blow out until you're done with your meditation. So while you're meditating, you could kind of feel it running down. I wouldn't even say you kind of feel it like running down, but then she blows in the next nostril, right? This is all while your eyes are closed, applesauce, fingers out, you're doing your ohms, right? Get the vibrations right. And she's like doing the snapping. And based off the music she was playing, like very Native American music, it took me to like the wilderness mentally. Physically,
it did.
Physically, you feel a high. Definitely, you feel like a rush. Like, but I feel like that's also because the pain.
But even she was talking about like it had to also do with breath control because she was like breathe, like learn how breathe through it.
Breathe through your mouth.
Breathe through your mouth, breathe through, because if you just breathe regular, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And every time, as it was going down, I would go to kind of get it going again, and then, oh shit. It was a good experience. We actually had her on the podcast.
Really?
A couple episodes back, because she's a holistic healer in a way. She does a lot of medicine based off just herbs.
Where'd you meet her at?
I came across her at her page. I reached out. I'm like, yeah, we'd love to have you on my podcast, and she was like, for sure.
Now, is that illegal?
No.
Because like ayahuasca, like DMT is illegal.
Yeah.
You know.
Most outlawed drug in the world, yes.
Yeah, and I know why. Because you see the Matrix.
It's enlightening. It enlightens you. That's kind of crazy.
You understand consciousness instead of deep level. Yeah.
That's why I was even interested about when I came across you, and I was even like, wow, this is dope that he's a realtor, because I feel like you can tap into a different demographic than the average or the typical traditional real estate agent.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you earlier, there's a lot of layers to you, because you sell houses, but you can rap or you do music. You're a spiritual person.
I think that comes from ayahuasca. I feel like people that are mentally attracted to shit like that kind of have it in them.
But like
yeah, say what you're gonna say.
But like I was talking earlier too, I feel like because he sells houses, he has to be in front of people. He keeps a lot of it, like he has to restrain himself a lot from being himself on social media, because they're gonna be turned off by it. Like, oh, this guy's crazy. The average person, the average sheep is like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, I recently started caring less about what people think about me. Because I had like one of my first mentors ever. I started really openly talking about ayahuasca in Facebook. On Facebook, and I have a lot of family on there. My family ran a church and stuff, and I know that and I'm talking about like occult knowledge, like weird stuff, my higher self and meditating and all this weird stuff, and
self in general.
And so like people, a lot of it's like I'm getting positive reception actually, but there's like some people that are not like vibing with it. And then I realized like after the lives that I've lived, after the dimensions that I've traveled to, the places that I've been, the knowledge and the truth that I've come across, for me to care about what you think, I would be a fool. I'd be lying to myself.
You'd be pretty much being offensive to all your experiences.
Yeah, exactly. And I would be a slave to someone that doesn't know the truth. So I'm like, nah, man, like if that's how you want to believe, then I no longer have use for you in my life. That's fine. I love you, but we don't need to interact with one another anymore. Because I'm not going to dim my light for you.
Yeah.
But one thing I was going to say earlier, and this is probably the weirdest thing, and it really, really tripped me out my last experience. It wasn't as visual, but it was more like, so after ayahuasca, and a few of my friends have had the same experience, you'll wake up at like a certain time in the night, and you'll have weird dreams. You'll have like ETs contact you through dreams and visions. It's weird, bro, but... The weirdest thing that happened to me last time, it was like what you said about that movie.
Interstellar?
Yeah. You know how there's like the time thing? So I kept I tell everyone that I always felt like I was going to do something great. So like I feel like I'm going to run this really big company one day, and I want to give to like philanthropy, and like that's what my company is going to be rooted in. Like we're going to give money back to build houses in Mexico. One of my friends, he has a company that does that, and so we're going to team up with his nonprofit organization and build houses for people in Mexico.
I have someone you could connect to that does it in another South American country.
Awesome, I'm down. Yeah, so I want to help people like that. So where's I going with this? So I always thought I was going to do like big things, change the world, right? And so when I was a kid, the first time I ever became aware of myself, I was probably like 5. And my dad had this talk with me, and he said, one day you're going to go to college. And he was just talking about like me in the future, like in my 20s. So I sat in my room and I started envisioning myself in my 20s. And that was the first time that I like just really became aware of my potential as a human, as a child, And I remember my dad leaving the room, and I just remember feeling, at least in my memory, I remember presence. I remember something in the corner by the door. So when I did ayahuasca last time, it took me to that. And the presence was me and someone that I know very well, that I mentioned earlier. And it was me and her. And we were both guiding me and taking me through different instances in my life when I felt like there are these times when I feel like I call it divine inspiration, or like what Christians would call the Holy Spirit. I feel like this energy come over me, and I have information come into my brain. I'm like, where did that come from? And it started taking me to all of these instances when it kept reminding me, hey, this is your calling, this is your purpose, this is your calling. And what it showed me was the person that was guiding me the whole time was myself. That was my higher self.
That's where the fifth dimension part of the whole thing kicks in. 'Cause when I came back, like, I'm gonna explain the ending of my trip, right?
Yeah.
I was pretty much shot out into space, and I'm going so fast, and all of a sudden I come to a full stop. And when I came to a full stop, I freaked out because I thought I was gonna fall. Mm-hmm. And I just stood there and floated, pitch, like, it was quiet but not quiet. It's just a weird sound to try to explain. It was like peace almost. There's these two major guns on the corner of the fucking universe, and they're just fucking blasting at me, and I didn't know what it was, and I was just freaked out. But the feeling that they gave me was love, and the love was so grand. Like, my mom's love is not even touching a percentage of that love I felt. And when it brought me down, because I went in at my heart rate was like 134, and I came back with my heart rate at 169.
Wow.
And when I came back down, my heart racing is like, I felt like I was about to like throw up, but I physically felt at peace. I'm coming down, I'm crying. And every blunt we smoked, I felt like there was a layer, like a very thin line of smoke in the room, where it would be a thin line here, exactly 12 inches or whatever, like exact here. Then that same gap, same smoke here, and it was just layers of smoke, right? And then when you look at it, it became a grid. And you ever seen like those Lucas candies where it'd be like how many black dots there are, and you're looking at every corner and everything else becomes a black dot? Mm-hmm. It was almost like I would stare directly, like tunnel vision almost, and everything became this like cube-like thing to where I was able to stare at things like I would be the table looking at you. Or I'd be inside the table's materials, looking through the table's material and looking at you. Like, I was able to do all these weird things just within the garage itself, but everything was a fucking grid. Everything was literally a grid, and it was a tesseract to where the little dots I saw were tesseracts, and you look into them, it's like, yo, this is a cube within a cube within a cube. Holy shit, where am I?
Yeah.
And it just keeps fucking going.
That's how Yu-Gi-Oh was. Yeah.
Ant-Man.
The pyramid. Oh, you remember Yugi had the pyramid thing, and then it showed the world when the pharaoh inside the pyramid. That's how I was like blind.
But seeing that with their own eyes, bro, it's something. I can't forget it, but I can't draw it for you.
Yeah.
I can't explain it to you, right? Like, the way I'm explaining it to you is very...
It's very, like, it's not even enough.
I'm not doing it justice.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make no justice.
I'm not doing my vision justice, but the thing is, like, I know you saw what you saw, and I can't ever deny that because I know what I saw.
Yeah, it's weird. Because it's experienced.
And it's almost interlinked. Because when I saw the elves, I knew there were elves based off... like, my DMT trip was all shapes. 100% all shapes. Their heads, I could tell they were wearing caps because it was a trapezoid. And their face were ovals. But your brain kind of just tells you, like, hey, this is a person. He's wearing green. It was almost like Wanda and Cosmo, green and pink. Mm-hmm. That was their colors. But I started tripping out. Like, Mark even tells me, he's like, I find it very phenomenal. You could kind of separate when you're tripping and when you're not. Because I was talking to them while I'm going through all this. And I was telling Mark, I'm like, bro, I see a crab. Like, beginning of my trip, I saw a crab. Neon crab in space shooting shit around me. And I'm going like, hey, somebody Google a crab zodiac. Ends up being Mark. But you know that, like, there's these things in your mind that just fucking make sense. But I can't go up to a stranger and be like, I saw a crab in the sky, right? That shit was shooting things, right? And ended up being my best friend.
That's crazy.
But there's these things that you see, bro. And I don't know. That's why I'm really intrigued by very simple stuff like that carpet. When you look at that type of carpet, to me, I see all of my hallucinations. I see somebody that tripped out just like I did when I look at that. Because bro, the whole world is made up of fucking beautiful, crazy patterns like that.
Exactly.
Just like when you said, hey, these are geometric shapes looking at the napkin. Bro, like when you see the world as
What's the geometrical number that's like this from this is the same number as like this from this, and then
I mean,
what's that shit called?
Golden ratio, I think.
Yeah, the global ratio. There's like even when it comes down to smaller things, it's the same number with plants, the petals, and
everything's perfect.
It's very, very.
That's why I believe that we're really created by the Anunnaki, because everything's so.
I thought he was gonna say God. He said Anunnaki.
Well, it's not a coincidence.
Too perfect.
Yeah. But they are gods. So that's why we do come from God, I feel like.
I don't know, man. I've been to some places in my experiences where I don't even know what to believe.
Right?
There's too much.
There's like.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this. Ask a couple guests this. Where do you think we come from? The human race.
Oh God, I don't even.
There's
know.
no right or wrong answer. Just what is your
The place that I went
opinion.
the other night, I had an ayahuasca flashback in one of my meditations. It was a place I didn't even remember, but it's all like insect type alien things. I call it God's bathroom floor because it looks like tile.
Fire.
But it's like the past and the present and the future is all one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you want to happen's already happened, but it hasn't happened yet, and you can choose to change it at any time. So
Ours.
I feel like. Where do we come from? I think that there is a creator. I think there is a God. And I call it divine intelligence, and it runs through everything. Like even my son, I've been learning more how to be a man through him because he's just so bold. He has no barriers, you know? And so you can learn something from a child. You can learn something from an animal. Like the other night when I had that meditation and I saw animals, I was like, oh, wow. Like they're like humble, you know, and we just take advantage of them.
I get a lot of my personality from wildcats.
Dude, ayahuasca, so I had a few experiences. A Black Panther guided me through the whole thing, but what taught me about sex and masculine and feminine energy was a tiger and a snake, and it just held me in like a leaf. And it was beautiful.
You got rolled up?
Yeah. Where do I think we came from? I think there is a God that created us, but started
us
no,
or created something.
I don't know if there's a God that created us. I think there is a God. There is a creative force, and I don't know what we are. Right now, I'm so lost that I think we might be a simulation.
Nah, bro, I've been feeling like that too.
I think we're a simulation. I think we're created from the Anunnaki, and I don't think Earth is our first home.
I like his theory about we're placed here to dig for gold.
I've heard that. David Icke. Have you looked up David Icke?
I know
talks
that
about
is
all this.
The dude, the European dude, right?
Yeah.
The UK dude with white hair. Yeah. And he talked a lot about that shit.
I think we created a mind for gold because, like Hindu culture especially, you look at all these, gods from all over the world. I don't give a fuck from 30,000 BC or 30,000 AD. You got all these gods from all over the world. You got Roman mythology, you got Greek mythology, you got like Hindu, the poly gods. You got all these different gods, right? I think those were really just extraterrestrial species that ended up on Earth because there's just no fucking way. And the reason why I say Earth is because Earth is very, very, very rich in minerals. Gold, silver, platinum. I mean, all the platinum we have in the world could fill up one pool, but one Olympic pool, which isn't a lot. But we don't know what that could have been used for. We don't know if that,
So minerals are the infinity stones.
Yeah, I feel like and I don't even think they're infinity stones. I think there really are infinity stones. And I think a lot of our wars from the beginning of time to now were over these infinity wars. Infinity stones, I mean. They talk about these crystals all over the world that hold this power. These clear crystal
What's that shit
skulls.
called?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
What's that crystal called? The big one. It starts with the O. Argonite? I'm sorry.
Organite?
Argonite, yeah.
Organite? No, not that type of crystal. They're crystal skulls, bro. They're like literally clear glass skulls that they found all over the world that hold powers. And
Think so?
bro, they said the war we just had with the Middle East was many reasons. Time portal, or a Stargate, should I say. And a crystal skull was just one of the things that they confiscated. Stargate they found in Iraq. And they said Saddam Hussein had a crystal head hidden in one of his lakes.
I believe it honestly because the deeper that I get into like this weird stuff, I notice in my own life like
how powerful it is.
yeah, and how like I have more influence, like people just are attracted to me, and I'm like, okay, I'm just right here. Imagine the people that run the world. What do they know?
Exactly. So for me,
But the sad thing is that they're corrupt. So
Exactly.
It's just for no good use.
and that's
Exactly.
that's why for me, I believe we were placed here we were created by the Anunnakis, and the Anunnakis created us to be enslaved. They enslaved us for gold because gold particles could fix ozone layers. So what if their planet had a nuclear war or whatever happened to their planet? They needed it fixed. They create us. They get it fixed. They leave us alone. They fly the fuck away, and they just kind of watch us as we expand. Now it's one of those things to where you have others. I feel like there's other species that are still on this earth.
Yeah.
That are running things and are
Spiritually too.
it's on all realms.
Yeah, dimensions.
All dimensions. I feel like this black and white war will continue until I think we're gonna be I think it's us. I think the moment we realize it's us is when the
Yeah.
flip could switch.
I think that theory makes the most sense to me because, again, I was starting to believe, like, bro, we're a simulation. Like, what's really our purpose? Like, we're really here to be enslaved, to just be a slave, to just work all day. So we're just gonna work. Because even if you pursue what you want to do in life, right, you're still working.
Exactly.
It's still work.
Exactly.
So why is that what we're really here just to do? Like, just to work and then die?
And you
Yeah,
look, and I look at it like this, bro. Like I feel like it is a simulation because you look at like ancient times and like Aztecs, and like you see where their field was or like their community, right? And you look at it from an aerial view. That's a computer chip. That's a circuit breaker.
Yeah.
That's a circuit breaker.
It's not a coincidence. Everything's designed
Then you
so strategically.
Then you get crop circles. And it's like, all right. What if it was a person, right? What if it was a person? How do they know what it looks like from up there? What if it was a UFO? How do we know if it, like, there's just too many what ifs and question marks in our life to where all this shit is running so smooth and perfectly. The way you eat, the way you think, the way you digest, all that shit.
Everything, bro.
Everything is
Yeah,
so
it's
precise.
It's so perfect.
So precise.
They
so
say nobody's perfect, or none of us are perfect, but the way shit is designed is so perfect.
It's perfect.
It's so perfect.
The only thing that is not perfect is what humans have created. Freeways, the government, schools, things we physically created are not perfect.
Things to control.
Things to control.
Yeah.
And I feel like laws are truly universal laws. And it's almost like code.
Yeah.
If we were warlocks, witches, and fucking all these other spiritual things, there would be one universal code every society or every community would have to follow.
Just morals.
Exactly.
Just
It's
knowing
like,
the difference between.
don't use your magic on humans, or don't use love spell. Little things like that I feel like were laws back then. Now we're dealing with the same type of laws, but our spiritual and our magical powers have been stripped away.
Satan winning, bro.
Yeah.
Satan's winning. Ben.
Because if we're technically created in God's image, right? I do believe that because we're creators. Like most people have the urge to create something.
Yeah.
And the second thing is we're sustainable. And we are humble enough to believe there's someone bigger and greater.
Wow.
So it's like, all right, yes, like cool, we're on this, we're getting somewhere, right? But then that's when the other species type shit comes in, where it's like, I'm human because I have a soul. What the fuck are you, and do you have a soul?
Yeah.
And why do you want mine? Like, what makes mine so valuable that you don't have it? Like, why are you attacking me and my bros opposed to?
I think those type of demons and spirits attack the ones that they are weak, that they know they're likable already. So it's like, I can get you what you want, and you're gonna benefit me, and I'll benefit.
I think that's given.
You think it's given?
I think that's given. I think a demon could kind of wake up and say, I'm gonna get that fucker today because I know I can.
Or you think they try with everybody, and it's like whoever is the weakest?
I think it's the energy. I think it's guided through energy, almost like a freeway, right? So me and him, say he's giving me the same type of energy I'm giving him. Do you think a demon could go through this?
Right, yeah.
They'll probably have to go around.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Kind of like a snake. Snakes can't really see, but they could feel energy and they could feel temperature. So it's like, I feel heat coming from the top of my head, I'm gonna strike. But they don't physically see what's on top of their head.
Snake basically the mascot for them.
You think so? Because snake is also the mascot for the pharmacy stuff, where it's the spine.
Exactly.
And then you
have pharmacy's bad.
That's also like the Kundalini energy.
Kundalini
In your spine.
Every time I see someone trying to like as a serpent as a represent like their branding or in their logo, I just
you feel away.
Like
To me, it's good and bad because
it's hiding it in plain sight.
To me, is good and bad. Yeah, obviously the snake part, we all know why it's bad, but the good part could be this person maneuvers a certain way, and they also shed. They continue to grow. They continue to shed, and they could go a long time. But it's very rare for me to say, "Hey, you remind me of a snake."
Even the characteristics of a snake is like that's why we call people snakes when they do dirty shit.
I think that's just lingo.
Nah, bruh.
Because a rat doesn't tell.
I don't, because I feel like a snake will attack regardless. I feel like a snake will attack regardless, and even if they don't feel endangered, if they crept up on you, they're probably gonna bite you.
I don't think boa constrictors do because they don't necessarily bite. They usually wrap around.
That's even worse. That's scarier.
Way scarier. But it's also one of those things like this guy is moving way faster than I am. I'm gonna chill. You know, but I feel
There's
like
a lot of animals though, or species that are considered for like a cult branding, like an owl.
I think a pig is spiritually the worst animal. I think spiritually, if we're talking spiritual, I think the pig is the worst because it replicates a lot of human stuff,
organs and all that.
Right? Even the pig skin is very close to our skin. That's why they test on pigs. But it's also one of those stories in the Bible where it's like Muslims don't eat it. I don't know why, but I know they don't eat it. Like that's their thing, right? Yeah. And then with Christians, I forgot who the guy was, but Jesus saw him on an island. Guy was crazy, and Jesus got all the crazy and threw it into the pigs, and the pigs ran off the cliff. Why pigs?
Yeah, I always wondered that too.
But that's what I mean. I feel like pigs would probably, and pigs eat everything. You ever want to get rid of a body? Feed it to pigs.
Yeah, pigs eat everything. Pigs are the dirtiest animal.
They'll eat their own shit. They'll eat bones. Like you want to get 100% rid of a body, feed it to pigs. Don't throw it in the river.
Or bury it.
Not from experience.
I was gonna say one last thing about that. You said that you think that these were like beings that came to Earth. I started getting into Hinduism after I did DMT because I saw like Hindu gods. So my thing is like, what if all of these gods that we have were just people tripping out on plants? And so then they started drawing them. And like, oh, that's a god. That's a god. I learned this from that god. I learned this from that god. That's always been my thought process behind it.
I could get behind that, but again, I can't because me and you are sitting here and you haven't tried mushrooms. You get what I mean? Like I feel like there's too many stories and there's too many authors out there or witnesses for all of them to see the same thing under the same drug. Okay. So like I know one thing pharaohs and kings did that like civilizations that built temples or not temples pyramids. Pyramids have certain chambers in them to where it's just pitch black, and these pharaohs and a lot of scholars would mimic death. The way they would do that, they would just live in this very dark chamber, no windows, pitch black. You could only use your mind in that. So once they go through a few hours or a few days through this pitch blackness and kind of forget about their physical being, they're given a drug. Mexico would be the toad or DMT, whatever. I don't know what the Mexico side was, but in Egypt, they would give them the blue lily. Extinct now, but it would only grow across the Nile River. And when they would give them this, they don't have a physical body to strip out of. They're mentally there. And what these people would do is they would come back with information. Hey, I got new technology. Yeah. Hey, like the pyramid, people think is 4-sided, but you go aerial view, it's 8-sided. Yeah, there's a 0.1 degree middle point. Like every corner goes diagonally in at 0.1 degree. And you could only see it at a certain time, at a certain angle. They said that's how the Nazis got the technology to do the UFOs and all that. And they tripped out on, I don't know. No.
But it's the same concept where they they got the information from something.
They
came
got
back
their
and was
information
like, we
from
can build
actual
this.
extraterrestrials
Yeah.
through Antarctica, because 4,500 troops were sent to Antarctica every year to protect something, not to fight anything, but to protect something. So that's where it's like, all right, what the fuck were you guys getting? But that's where I feel like there's many different types of species. I do believe there's a galactic federation out there that protects us from another galactic force that wants to end us. And I think there's a reason why we are the key to the rest of this. I think without
like Marvel not fake. All the movies, they're not fake.
Yeah, there's some knowledge in there.
Because even like a Spider-Man, one of the villains is a reptilian.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like they just hiding the truth. And
Black Panther with the
Black Panther with exactly. Even Infinity Wars, as far as coming in and from different
Star Wars
too. Yeah, all that shit.
That's why I don't believe our moon was filled with craters back then. I think a lot of it's from wars. I don't think our asteroid belt was an asteroid belt before. I think that was a planet.
You think the Earth is round or flat?
Round.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Do you wait? Ask it better. Do you think the land or the crust of Earth is in a sphere or straight across?
I think it's a sphere.
No, I don't think so.
I've been arguing that too. I don't think so. The more and more I feel like it is, based off just the lies we've been getting, there's a glass.
The fact we don't have no picture from Earth, from NASA, that's not CGI, that itself is like enough for me to be like,
because all the satellites do is it's AI, and it gets data, and that data is processed through another AI, and that AI creates the image based off the data given.
But my thing is like when you look in the sky and you see other planets, they're circular.
Yeah.
They're dots.
You can get a telescope and you could like zoom in on
I
Saturn.
do believe, but even Earth by definition isn't a planet.
What do you mean?
It's not.
What is it?
It's a plane.
A plane.
We're a plane. It's flat.
Because this is how I look at it. I'm not. He's
flat.
and he's not saying it's flat where you're in space and you see a ball, a fucking straight line, and another ball. No. There is a ball. There is a ball. I don't know what's under. I can't say what's under, but I do. The more I could argue this side, I do feel like there is a glass on top of us, and where our our land is flat.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show.
And then gravity is not. It's a theory. It has never been proven. Gravity is an unproven theory. So if gravity is unproven, it's like I know like people be like, "Whoa, just jump, bro. You're gonna come back down." I get that. I know there's a force, but I don't think it's gravity. I don't think that's what the term would be, or it's just. I think it works different.
Really?
And I think the North Pole is literally the center of the plane, because of the compasses all lead
That's
north.
what I'm saying. Look,
they all go north.
Say this is north, right? This trackpad, right? North, right? And your compass is pointing north. My compass pointing north, right? Where's your south? Behind you? Right?
Yeah.
It would be behind you. Where the fuck's my south?
Behind you.
Okay, so now if I go in this big ass circle, right? If I go in this circle, this is always gonna be north, but it's gonna create a circle of south around me. But let's say I'm on the ocean. I'm in the ocean, right? You're in the Pacific. I'm in the Atlantic. We both point north, and our goal is to go south. When I start going south and I hit ice walls, my automatic thought's gonna be Antarctica. Why? Because it's the most southern region of the world. You hit ice walls, your thought's gonna be, I'm in Antarctica, one of the most south part of the world. But we went two different directions. That's the part where I'm like,
So the ice wall thing probably makes sense.
that's the part, because, bro, anyone in the world, we could have 8 billion fucking compasses. Everyone's gonna end up in a different spot. They're all gonna point north one way, but every single south is gonna be different.
And the fact that you can't travel to certain parts of Antarctica.
Yeah, that's weird. That is
so
weird.
that's like right there's questionable.
You can't fly. You need to get to Antarctica. You need a scientific research license, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck.
yeah.
You need to go through a lot of protocols to get there, and it has to be approved by the UN.
Wow. That's huge.
And I think maybe 7 people get to go there a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But and here's the part about Antarctica. It's an igloo type thing. Because you have molten lava coming up, right? And it creates this cave-like thing on the inside, but the outside it's very cold. We don't really know what's underneath Antarctica. But World War II, I forgot the guy's name, but he talked in his journal, he talks about anti-gravity aircraft. He talks about beaches, shores, and landing strips in Antarctica.
Why though? My only question is like, why would they need to lie about the shape of the Earth?
Why not?
Because it's controlling us.
But what is it controlling it? Because I understand everything else, but this one thing I don't get.
Look, if they lie about the Earth being flat, right? Let's just say tomorrow they're like, the Earth is flat. What else have they lied about?
It fucks up society. Society is so fucked and be like, well, if they're lying about that, then they're lying about all the shit that we thought.
Do you really think?
I think dinosaurs are fake too. I think it's propaganda because who do dinosaurs cater to the most? Kids. It's a big market for kids.
But there's bones, there's fossils.
Not 100%.
Not 100%.
One dinosaur is 100% it.
That shit wasn't even introduced until like 100. Like the first bones were it was introduced by like less than 100 years ago.
They don't talk about it. And they don't talk about none of the bones. They don't talk about none of it in ancient civilization.
It lies to the public to make you not question where we come from because you think Darwinism, you think evolution. I don't think evolution happened. Because why do some monkeys?
That's where
why do we still have monkeys then? Why didn't they evolve if we came from monkeys?
Yeah, that's
why did they stop?
And no dinosaur bone is 100% that dinosaur. Sometimes they replicate it, or sometimes it's a bone from another dinosaur. And to me, it's always like, all right, if there was dinosaurs, even if they are real, right? Even if they are real, how many fucking different civilizations have we gone through since then? Millions, right? We could agree on that. Millions of different civilizations have gone by since the extinction of dinosaurs. How come they don't talk about it?
Bro, you ever wonder why they try to market so much to little kids space and dinosaurs?
And bro, I think
space is fake.
What?
That's just me though.
I don't think space is. That's where me and him don't see eye to eye on space being fake.
Then what?
But I would say a lot of because
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
If I told you, hey Joel, like your car isn't really a Toyota, you gonna question it, right? You gonna be like, what the fuck is it then? What's this car?
It's a Scion.
It's a Scion, whatever it is, right? You still gonna question it because you're like, all right, you lied to me. I want to know the truth now. Like now is the point for the truth. Now it's like, okay, let's say the Earth is flat. What? Every single thing you have taught since you guys crucified the first person to say the Earth was flat or the Earth is round. First person to now. How many other things you guys have lied about? Bro, to me, that's the main thing I told Chris. I'm like, I'm not worried about Earth being round or flat.
But yeah, I don't think it'll change. Like, we still gotta go to work tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work first one.
But
I quit.
But the part that I feel like is so fragile is thought process behind society. Because it's like, oh shit. That's almost like 2 + 2 = 5. And you like, damn, bro, like y'all been lying to me. Y'all been lying to my grandparents. Y'all been lying to the people before that. Y'all been lying for fucking eons at this point that this bitch is round. What else have you lied about?
But we've never been to the moon. Ever. Like, that shit's all fake.
I think Stanley Kubrick filmed the first one. I personally...
He did.
I think that as a film junkie, not a film junkie, but as a film connoisseur and
when they film spaceship, bro, it's in water. That's why they look like they're moving all weird because they're literally underwater when they're shooting these shits and they just edit it.
I did some moon research. It was very questionable.
It's very questionable.
Here's the thing. How come you have these millions of dollars put into your fucking vehicle for space, but the pictures of it, they're sitting on lawn chairs and shit? Like, that's the seat you sit in on the moon? There's no gravity, bro. What are you worrying about weight for?
I just think it's a base, bro. I think it's a military base.
Yeah.
I think there's a moon up there and we can see it, but I think it's a base. I don't think it's
Before I had heard of any of this, I had a dream one night that it's really weird. I was Superman and I flew to the moon and there was like a base on the moon and I like stole some like paperwork, some intel, and they were like chasing me. And then like a few years later, I found out this is like a theory. I was like, that was weird. Like,
why would they chase you?
You seen the documentary Above Majestic?
I might have. I've seen a lot of documentaries.
Watch Above Majestic.
Okay.
You can't download it. You gotta rent it.
Oh, really?
You gotta buy it off
iTunes.
Amazon.
I haven't seen it then. No.
iTunes, YouTube, Amazon.
I know you say you say politics is all like an illusion too and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. And I was one of those too. I was at the point where it's like, man, this shit don't fucking matter. But that documentary changed my perception on Donald Trump. It made me question like, okay, I think
It made him question his own side.
yes, because I was fuck Donald Trump too. I was quote unquote Democrat because just growing up,
Oh, you like Kanye then?
No, he was,
No, bro, no.
he was conditioned.
I was slandering Kanye. I took all my Kanye slander back because even when he first met with Trump, and I'm like, this Kanye stupid, da da da. The whole bro, I love Jesus is King to me. The fact that people are mad that he stopped worshiping devil shit, like that to me right there itself is like y'all sleep.
But again, we come to a society where desensitized.
Yeah.
This is your next life. So on here, I tell people this all the time. Like, when you see people going missing, retweet this girl's missing, last seen here. When you see this person was shot here, when you see all these things, you're desensitized to it now because it's like, I seen 20 people missing yesterday. I seen 21 today.
But have you even noticed that there's a lot of people go missing now? Like
No, I haven't.
Trafficking is at an all-time
I've heard that.
high,
I have heard
bro.
that.
64,000 black girls.
And that's why
black girls missing in America.
Above Majestic made me start. I found out about QAnon. I don't know if you've heard of QAnon.
Above Majestic pretty much made him think third perspective.
QAnon is an intelligence community, a military intelligence and community made of like certain patriots, certain people from the Marines they're a group and they release hints via 8chan and 4chan. I don't know if you heard about that forum. It's a forum.
Yeah.
And they post. They don't really expose the truth, but they make people question it. They drop hints, and people go on. And then people look
The
up.
community breaks
bro,
it
they
down.
expose a lot of like Epstein. I knew about that already for the last month before he even got arrested.
Months.
And when that happened, when I saw Jeffrey Epstein arrested, I was like, yo, Q not lying. Like, this shit is fucking real. Like, this shit is real.
I want to say even close to a year before it happened.
Hey, bruh, all this shit happening now,
And
it drops hints to last year talking about how the impeachment shit's going down. This is all was already predetermined. And
you know how I told you, sorry to cut you off, you know how I told you about the spiritual war?
Mm-hmm.
It's happening through law.
Right, yeah.
And the way Satanism or demonic shit works is like, I'm going to tell you I'm going to do something. It's up to you to believe me or not. Then you get creative with words.
Yeah, that's magic.
It's like, when you get creative with words, you find your loopholes. And as long as I told you, the universe ain't going to curse me because I ain't breaking no law. Mm-hmm. It's up to you to pick at it or not. I just fancied my words. You fell for it. I'm doing the devil's trick. Sleight of hand, baby.
And that's why I'm starting to believe, like, I think our politics, it does, because even Trump, bro, like, people hate Trump, but it's because, obviously, the media is owned by the left, so they don't like somebody, so, and I feel like Trump's stopping their money. He's making it harder for the cartels to try to smuggle drugs. He's making it harder for them to traffic people. He's making it harder for them, and the left folks, they fund a lot of they funded ISIS, they funded the cartels, they give them the passage, they make all that shit, they let it slide with laws.
And I want to consider it even like it's a physical war actually, like, but it's also a spiritual war. It's a war on privacy, it's a war on information. But the fact that these people have power over us, you kind of got to consider them deities. Mm-hmm. Right? And when you consider something a deity or something that has power over you, they're almost, quote unquote, godlike. So that, to me, that confirms it even more that it's a spiritual war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like people get rubbed off by Donald Trump the wrong way because the way he say things and honestly, like, I've gotten to a point now where it's like, I'm glad we have an alpha male president. I'm glad that he speaks his mind and he doesn't let people bitch him around. Like, Obama was very like.
Obama was a good face with very terrible.
He was PC, bro. And when you ask people what you like about Obama, what do they like most about him? His personality.
Yeah.
The way he is. He knows how to talk to people. Like, he knows how to win people over.
He's eloquent.
That's democratic. Now, what I like about Trump is like, First of all, he's not even from the bloodline of any, like, all presidents have the same bloodline.
Yeah, I heard that.
He's not at all part of that. And I tell people, if this guy was really evil, you think they'd be trying to impeach him? Like, y'all really think the last couple presidents have been the best presidents ever? Like, they've all been evil, they just hide it. And they fake it.
And he's not doing it for the money part either.
And that's what I meant. That's what I try to tell people. Like, this guy was already a billionaire. What the fuck is he doing?
He's making less.
And people loved him at one point. Why would you go into this and be like, and get hated on, have your whole reputation shitted on?
He was loved in the rap community as far as other rappers go.
Yeah.
There's pictures with him and other rappers.
What I've been noticing about Trump, you know, like being in real estate, a lot of people like Trump. Mm-hmm. And even going into people's houses, I don't know how, but politics always comes up. People like secretly like Trump.
That's me right now.
Me personally, like I'm not into politics at all. But I don't agree with some of the things he says, but I don't dislike him. The last time I ever voted, heart, I actually did vote for Trump. That was the last time I ever voted in my life. Mm-hmm. I'll never vote again, but yeah, I voted for Trump.
See, I was gonna vote for Hillary.
I just lost 500 followers. That's fine.
Nah, bro. Like,
at this point, I don't care. I feel like politics shouldn't affect the people, and the people should just kind of hold hands and just say, "Fuck y'all, let's flip this bitch upside down."
That's what I'm saying.
And then no one, even if I do fuck with Trump, bro, no one can tell me, bro, Chris racist. Because if you look through my podcast, all my guests, majority have been black. And I'm not saying that like I have black guests, so I'm not racist. It's like, no, I really fuck with black culture. I love black culture, bro. Yeah. I love black people because of their energy, the way they're funny, and I love it all.
I think a correct way to say that would be none of my followers have been Trump supporters.
Yeah.
That would have been a way better way to say that, because like me and you just had that discussion yesterday on how he singled Mexicans out. Mm-hmm. You just singled black people out. Mm-hmm. And that gives you the connotation of like, hey, why did he just mention black people if he's not racist? Like, it doesn't prove that you're racist, but it sparks that question. Like, why'd you mention...
Well, I said black people because I'm already Mexican, so obviously people will assume I'm not racist towards my own people.
Yeah.
That's why I said it.
Now you cleared it up to where it's like, cool, you know, I'm at ease because now I don't have to worry about my brother.
I mean, the Hispanic community hate Trump just as much because of the wall and everything. And at the end of the day, it's like, what I really like is that Trump's getting... Because I always say, we're the reason why countries are fucked up. U.S. is the reason why a lot of countries are fucked up. People try to come here. But I feel like Trump's pulling out a lot from the countries, and it's like, cool, now let them deal with their own issues. Even though we fucked them up already, but... And then, bro, the fact that they still haven't got him for shit, the Russia shit, nothing. Even this impeachment shit's all bullshit.
Yeah, I don't even watch it. I'm just like...
If the impeachment goes through... Look, check this out. Here's what a lot of Democrats are going to be like,
Yeah, bro.
When the impeachment goes through, if it does...
I'm going to tell you what I read today.
Anyone in the court that is there to witness him getting impeached could be potentially testified under oath, regardless of party, regardless of crime, regardless of
the next step is he's going to go to trial.
December 11th?
Trump's going to go to trial.
What did he do, though?
Exactly. But the whole Ukraine thing, you know, that's what he's going to end up going... If the impeachment shit continues and they actually it goes to trial, I think it is.
December 11th is the next big thing with the trial.
If he goes to trial, then if Trump gets sued and then he actually goes to trial, he can bring up all the fucking
bullshit from
all the FISA shit.
Anybody there.
So all the shit, because, you know, and that's why even now it makes sense that he's going after Hillary, because Hillary, like, it gets deep, bro. It goes back to the whole demon shit and the pedophile shit and the cannibalism shit and the adrenochrome shit and how kids are, you know, the harvesting of kids, and it goes, and they're part of all that.
You gotta bring Remy on here.
Huh?
You gotta bring Remy.
Bro, I love Remy because he always replies to my shit on Twitter.
Smart.
And he's the only person that he's on the same wave as far as like all the cold shit.
Remy understands it.
I tell people, dog.
The way he articulates it in politics, Remy articulates it in spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for that conversation, I could be the mediator because it's like I kind of get both sides because I listen to him talk all day.
Yeah.
And I'm more on the spiritual end on what Remy kind of talks about because I could relate to Remy's part more than this part, but this part is mental information.
Yeah.
Remy's part, me and him align on the spiritual connection.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be just a fire episode if I just mediated that. Like, hey, subject 1.
No, that'll be good.
Because
it gets deep, bro. And that's why I can't wait until people start realizing that. And I think the world is waking up to it, that this world is ran by pedo-satanic elitists. That's what this shit is ran on. Like, child trafficking runs the world,
Epstein
bro.
didn't kill himself. Becoming a meme, biggest fucking thing this year.
Like,
Printed
people
on
are
beer
waking up,
bottles?
bro. Like, this year alone, Clinton body count was trending after Epstein died. Because they're responsible for a lot of... That's why shit never gets exposed, because they kill whoever the fuck is about to testify, whoever the fuck about to expose them.
9+ cops in NY committed suicide in the NYPD.
And then all this whole journey, bro, even when I came across QAnon and everything, I found out that the music industry really is also demonic. I found out that a lot of my favorite artists are part of these occult societies.
Who sponsors who?
Like, as much as I love Hov and Jay-Z, bro, like, I believe in that. I do think he's Illuminati. And Kanye, that's why I love Kanye now even so much, because I think we're seeing him trying to break out of it. And I do believe he sacrificed his mom, and I think he wants to repent, and he wants forgiveness so bad, and that's why he's acting out. And I feel that's why he devoted his life to Christianity now, because he has to be associated with God so much, because he feels so bad for what he's done. He can't accept the the fact that he did that for money.
Yeah.
I sold for a few toys and a Happy Meal. Like, he's told us. And people still like, oh, it's just music. Like, how come when these artists go on press runs, bro, they never question those bars?
Yeah.
They never question what they say. It's just like, oh, the music dope, you know. They talk about other shit, but even Hov, like The Evils, he tells you, bro. And people,
Snoop
the
Dogg,
fact he goes by Rain Man, the fact he goes by Hov, is like the fact like why?
Rain Man's with a lot of artists though.
Exactly. So all those artists, they fuck with the money shit.
So when I was doing my little research on Satanism and like selling your soul and stuff like that, I really hit some low points in my life. But
I've done some research too.
So when it comes down to it, there's like 4 main demons, or 3 demons. I want to say there's 3 demons that are like princes in hell, I guess you could say. When you sell your soul, you don't really talk to the devil. You don't sell your soul to the devil. You make a pact with the demon. And whatever that pact is, a lot of the times it's for your soul. That's where artists get fucked up. King Solomon from the Bible took him 67 years to write the Red Dragon, but he explains his entire way, every fucking thing you need. And in the book, it says babies, but they really mean virgin goats. That's all they mean. But they would call that babies that back then. Anyways.
But goats are kids, huh? Baby goats are called kids.
They're called kids, yeah.
Yeah.
So you would need a virgin goat, and there's like a
makes sense for the little kid. Oh wow.
You would need certain like trees, and like the branch has to be a certain like cut, and there's all these like little things, like you have to have a silver tip on the branch, and you gotta draw the star. When you draw the pentagram, Jesus's name has to be on the top point, and your back has to face his name. And the reason why you do that is because any demon that wants to attack you from behind can't. And that the way the star is set up, and you're on the 5th point, you're on the star point, and your back is facing Jesus' name, nothing could attack you from behind. The way you summon them, you could do it in 2 ways. You have them come as who they are, or you have them come disguised as a person. And there's 3 or 4 demons, I want to say, like princes. And King Solomon, the pact he made was he didn't sell his soul. He sold the gold back to the demon. He said, every gold I touch on every first Tuesday of the month, you lead me to a treasure. And the first piece of gold I touch goes to you. And he would do that.
Oh, wow.
That was the pact he made. It wasn't a soul-to-soul exchange. But King Solomon funded his entire army, his entire military with that gold.
You've read The Red Dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So it was like there's just...
I'm too scared. I'm like, yeah.
But Rain Man is the main demon for money. That's the main demon for money.
Hov.
I wouldn't say Hov. I would say Hov, Tyga, Ye,
all of them.
Make It Rain, all these things. Yeah, bro. Yeah, all of them.
Even down when it goes to videos, bro, because I taught people like symbolism, bro, learn how to read symbolism, because a lot of this shit is right in our faces.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff your kid watches, or even like little shows that he watches, some of the little toys in the thing might have the pedophile logos on it.
Really?
Yeah, like it'd be like the swirly thing or the swirl triangle. Hot dog means a young boy. When like cause I don't know if you ever seen any of the emails, the WikiLeaks that leaked from like Hillary Clinton or like Podesta,
No.
and like they talk in code when it comes to like spirit, like going to spirit dinners and spirit cooking and all that.
What's that?
Cannibalism when they're eating the they make soup out of the you seen Red Dragon, the movie?
No,
You never seen
no.
Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
Like shit like that where they
really eat people.
yes
They
partake in spirit cooking and spirit rituals and
it,
like you said
that was in the emails?
sperm and blood cells is
bro,
the
you'd be
main...
surprised what's in the emails. Like you'd be surprised. Like these people are sick. Like recently, an FBI agent just released a testimony from he's not 8 years old. I don't know how old he is now, but he was telling his story about being trafficked. He's a traffic survivor, and he's talking about when he was 8 years old, his great uncle was trafficking him, was prostituting him, and on a yacht.
Uber just got hit. Most of the
Hold on, and then he's one of the person that he said raped him was Bill Clinton. That's an 8-year-old boy.
And then back to the thing he was saying about Annan, how we knew about the Epstein thing a year ago. He sent me a photo of Clinton, Epstein, like Bill, who was it?
Podesta and
one other person.
And Weinstein. Not Weinstein, Anthony Weiner.
Anthony Weiner, his laptop.
That shit about to hit trial. I think it's in trial right now. They're still investigating that shit.
If you connect his laptop and the police he worked with, you're gonna see the 9 suicides from the NYPD connect to that laptop. But when he sent me that, it was a Q post, and all Q posted was, "Where are they and who took the photo?"
Yeah.
And people just broke that bitch down. Rachel Chandler, she took the photo.
Rachel Chandler is the recruiter that.
She was
these people recruit on Instagram.
She was a child photographer.
Like, crazy.
She was a child photographer and an agent.
She has pictures with Eminem. She has pictures with a lot of celebrities, bro.
She would take pictures of these kids on the island and but other people would contact her page and say,
"I need a hot dog."
Yeah,
I need a cheese pizza means a young girl.
Yeah.
There's pedal language, bro. There's pedal code words.
Pizzagate?
Never heard of Pizzagate either?
Nah.
Bro,
Johnny Bravo.
You gotta tap in. Like that's what I'm saying. When people realize that,
I'm about to go down the wormhole, guys.
Scary.
Bro, that shit, I was depressed, bro.
See, every time I start to kind of dig into that stuff, I get depressed, and I'm just like, I can't do this. And Remy tells me, he's like, you have to.
You have to, bro. You have to, because now I see when I watch films, I see the message already behind it.
I feel more protected around him knowing this stuff than I did without him knowing this stuff. And our relationship could be the same.
And I tell people, I'm aware about the evils now in the music industry in Hollywood, but I'm not gonna boycott music because I love the music regardless. I love watching movies, but now when I watch it, I'm just like, they would put that in there, like that would be in there. Like, come on, like really, like it's just little shit. I'm just like, why? Like even like the recent movie, The Good Boys. It's like little kids, like 8-year-old. The movie's about them acting like adults, and they go on this crazy adventure, and then even there's there's a scene where they're playing with dildos, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like that to me is not like, people think it's funny, bro. It's just comedy, and I understand it might have jokes in it and be funny, but the whole that's wrong. Like you're trying to sexualize young boys. Like whether it's women looking down on them or not, or even regardless if it's not men, if it's women, that's still nasty, dog. Like you're. That's weird to me. So I see all that bullshit now, bro. Even when like Disney,
I understand.
Like Disney, bro, is one of the biggest pedophile rings ever, and people love Disney. Yeah. And that's just it's mind-boggling.
Adults loving Disney creeps me out. I feel weird when I know, like, say I'm talking to a chick, right? And she's like, "Oh, I love Disneyland." Automatic turn off. I feel weird about that. Cause there's just a weird stigma, like, bitch, are you still a kid? This shit's for kids. They make it for kids. They don't make it for adults for a reason. I'm not dumb. They don't make it for me. They make it for you because you got that childlike mind. You're going to go there. You're going to spend money. You got the money. And you're going to take your kids. And one day your kids going to end up missing. At Disney World.
And then they don't got the cameras. They can't find the footage. It's all this BS. They know where the fucking kid went. You know what that
Bro,
shit
this is sick.
Well, I
bro.
was gonna take my son to Disney World next
Don't
year.
fuck that.
And I get it, bro, because you know it goes back to even just like it's just traditional shit, you know.
Yeah.
And it's
My son loves Disney.
It's hard. It's harder to like break out of that cycle because then people look at you like you're the crazy one. Like, what? You didn't take your kid to Disneyland? What kind of parent are you?
Yeah.
Because people are so asleep, and it's sad that all the good shit, all the shit that's supposed to be pure has been corrupted. Even down to the rainbow, how the LGBT community has corrupted the rainbow because rainbow was a representation of God. It was heaven.
Yeah.
And now it's like even 666, it's a good number, but now because of the devils and all that, it's looked upon.
Yeah.
Everything's corrupted, bro. And it's just sad when I want to be that person that just go question some shit.
Yeah.
Like, just question it. I'm not saying I'm right. I could be totally
See it
wrong.
from the third
I
point.
could be totally wrong, and I'm fine with that. But once I come across that information that makes me rethink what I'm already thinking, then I don't care to be like, hey, I was wrong.
I feel like you have to kind of argue both sides of every argument, and the moment you can't argue the other side, you won. You know what side to pick. I can't argue for Democrats no more.
Yeah.
A year ago,
dumb, bro.
A year ago, I could have kind of argued both sides. I could have told you why to vote Republican, and I could have told you why to vote Democrat. Now it's more so like I don't really see the need to vote Democrat. So therefore, I kind of went through my cycle of if I was to pick a side, it would be independent, right? But we know by just politics, independent
We'll never
win.
Yeah.
So the next step would just be red.
Yeah, I'm going red. I finally decided like, and I gave it a chance. I gave all the candidates this year, the Democratic candidates. I watched some of the Dem debates. I was really rooting for Andrew Yang.
Biggest.
And
but he co-signed Musk.
Yeah, he's running his whole campaign on how AI is gonna take over jobs, right? So he's trying to propose $1,000 to every American a month.
Yeah.
If you're 18 years older, right? And at first I was like, well, that'd be dope because. And I didn't look at it like, oh wow, you should just rely on the $1,000 because that's not even nothing, bro. Like, if you're relying on $12,000 a year, like that ain't shit.
Nah.
But hey, bro, $1,000 a month would help me out. That'd be a nice little boost, you know. That'd be dope. So I would look, and again, it goes back to how people really just vote on one issue, you know. So that issue pertained to me. So I was like, shit, I'm rocking with this guy. And he is very logical and he's very smart too, very smart person. But then his whole campaign is about how AI is gonna take over and everything. And then Elon Musk tweeted, I really like what Andrew Yang's doing, da da da. And then he was like, thank you, Elon, this means a lot coming from you. But I'm like, bro, this is the same guy that's trying to make AI take over the world. And you're against that because it's taking jobs. But then you're like, cool, this guy co-signing me.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna question that now because I'm like, I don't know. It kind of made me go back. And I didn't want to say Trump yet. I didn't want to say Trump 2028 because I was still trying to figure out the other Democrats. Kamala Harris, Bird, Joe Biden. We're not voting for no pedophile like that. Elizabeth Warren, fake Indian.
Weird.
Yeah, very weird. So now I'm just like Trump 2020, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm at that point where it's I'm a Republican. Fuck it.
From a business standpoint, a lot of people want Trump to win because they're saying if he doesn't win, we don't know what's going to happen with the economy.
Right.
And I mean, like I said, I don't vote, but I want Trump to win because business is cool right now.
Yeah. I followed this real estate agent dude, and he has said that he can't wait till the market crashes because it's gonna weed out everybody that's doing real estate right now for fake reasons, like the posers, the little one-time sellers.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, that's whack.
Yeah.
But if the market's down, less people will buy, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like personally right now, I want it to stay good so that I can stack up my money, develop my skills, and then when it crashes, I'll be ready to go. But yeah, I'm still trying to stack my paper. So I'm like, hey, not yet. Slow down.
Yeah, no, I've always seen you talk about how like politics don't matter, voting don't matter. And I was, like I said, I was there at one point, bro. But now I'm thinking like, I think this shit does matter because if votes really didn't matter, you think they really would keep trying to get people to vote?
My thing is like, what if? Nah, yeah, I know what you're saying. My thing though is like, what if people just stop voting like completely? If everyone's just like, I ain't doing this no more.
Yeah.
I asked my mom the other day because she's like super into politics. So I was like, what if everyone just stopped paying taxes? She's like, we'd go to jail. I said, Mom, we way outnumber the government.
Yeah.
Like, really, what would happen?
Well, have you seen what's happening all over the world?
Nah.
Like, there's revolutions happening in France, Venezuela, Chile, like Hong Kong. You know, obviously, you ever see what's happening in Hong Kong either?
Dude, I'm so out the loop.
Yeah, bro. Like shit popping. You know when they say that the revolution will not be televised?
Yeah.
Like, it's not being televised, but because of social media, we see it. So I think it's not televised because it'll influence us here to do that. But we're so fluorinated, bro. We so fucking we take all this water fucking us up. People don't care, bro.
What do you think about good topic? Blue Lives Matters.
Like cops?
Like the whole movement.
It's whack because I feel like it's just like a mock on Black Lives Matter.
I feel the same.
And we can literally see that Black lives don't matter. We can literally see it because it's ridiculous the way blacks are being killed for no reason. And there's we have all this proof now, all these videos, and we can't deny no more that cops is out to get a certain type of race. Certain cops.
Yeah.
Like those part of the white supremacy cops, but they do matter too because all lives matter.
Exactly.
And he had a homie on there. We had a homie actually come. One of his homies, they're funny dudes. It was a funny episode. It was like a random comedy episode, and it came to a part where he said he don't think cops get enough credit. And we were kind of like, what do you? And he's half black, half Mexican. He was like, I don't think they get enough credit. And then he's like, cause think about it, bro. Like these people come home. They might see someone get shot today, and then they gotta go home and lay down next to their wife and everything, and then they gotta go do it again the next day. And he wasn't like justifying the fact that they do the bullshit. He was just saying like they don't get enough respect, and it kind of opened my eyes because I was like, you know what, that's true. They don't, because it's just like there's a lot of good people and bad people. There's a lot of good cops, like there's bad cops, and there's good and bad of every fucking people and lives.
Got to get Remy on this one.
I 100% say fuck cops. Like,
but I don't disagree why you would say that.
But the other part, like I saw a video the other day that just fucked me up. I think you sent it to me where they found that girl after she got trafficked. Mm-hmm. And they were like, there's blood on the bed. Yeah. And they find this girl in the corner just 8 years old naked. Yeah. And I'm like the fact that
some do care, bro.
The way they were smooth about it. Hey, baby, okay? Like, hey, cover her up. Oh shit, there's blood. Cover her up. In my mind, I'm like, bro, I would have fucking panicked. Yeah. I would have wanted to kill her, whoever the fuck
right
did
there,
that.
right as you walk in, huh?
Bro, I was like, holy fuck. Like, I don't know how I would react. So I do give them credit. But I'm still going to say fuck you. Because there's way more bad. There's just, bro, innocent lives.
Yeah, so I want to argue it, but
that's my issue with.
But the fact that they start the blue. I think blank lives matter started after Black Lives Matter. Yeah, and that to me was part that sucks because it goes against how it shows us that we don't give a fuck about black people. It shows how the country doesn't give a fuck about black people.
No, I feel the same.
What happened?
We try to demise their fucking.
You hijack a movement.
And my thing too is like Black lives is a race. It is a people. Mm-hmm. But blue lives is a force. It is a stream of consciousness.
It's a gang.
It's like a gang. Mm-hmm. It's not a person. It's not a race.
Take out quotas, maybe I'll like cops. Take out quotas, maybe I'll like.
You think that's real? I've always wondered.
Yes, it's 100% real. 100% real. Cops will feel Cops feel bad when you're pregnant. Cops won't really give you a ticket if you're on the way. Bro, I've gotten out of one ticket by telling a cop my girlfriend's having a baby right now. He said, okay, good luck, congratulations. You're not getting a ticket today. Any reason else is like, nah, I don't care, you're getting a ticket. I get that. But there's cops, like, bro, I've been caught 3:30 a.m. in the Mesa, in the high desert. California stop. No one fucking around me. And I get pulled over by a cop in a lifted truck. Bro, this dude's camping in the desert. That's telling you where I'm at. You know the back way, Route 138? Yeah. I got pulled over there, bro, on a stop sign, on a dead-end road, a road that doesn't... I just got done having sex. And when you're on 138, you can just pull over anywhere, just have sex and get back on the road? Yeah. I pulled into a dead end, pulled over, had sex, turned around, California stop sign. Go left, cops right behind me, pulls out of the desert. 3:30 in the morning, bro could have let me go. But I get it, quota. This is gonna look good for my boss. I'm getting a promotion. But he don't know I pay his taxes. He don't like, that's the part where I don't like. Like, bro, I get it. It would be different if y'all got paid from the county or whatever, you know, without my taxes. But I'm paying you to help and protect me, and you guys over here killing peers? Fuck you.
Huh.
It's like all the money, the tax money that go to NASA, but is it really going to NASA?
Like, you got a gun on your hip, bro. What you being scared for? My fist ain't gonna do anything.
What if you have a gun?
I don't.
You don't know that?
I could tell him.
He should believe you. Would you believe him? And he told you, would you believe him? He told you I won't give you a ticket, but then you're like, oh, cool, man, get a ticket. But then he makes you get out the car, and you're like, oh shit, I thought I was gonna get a ticket. But nah, you're getting arrested, bro.
I'd question it. But my thing with cops is get rid of the quota and get rid of all practice from the U.S. and send all your people out of state, out of country, and get them trained out of overseas.
And weekly therapy.
Yeah, weekly therapy sessions.
Weekly evaluations. Weekly.
Cause the quota system.
Because if you see like something crazy and it fucks you up, hey bro, sit the next couple months out.
Get rid of the 13th Amendment too. Because that makes the 13th Amendment was pretty much put in place to where 1 in every 3 black people are going to jail, rather than 1 in every 4. I don't want it. I don't want a number. I don't want a number for that. I don't want a number for any race. You're bad, you go to jail. But saying 1 out of 3 black people go to jail on the 13th Amendment, I don't like that. Get rid of that. And then private prisons, 97.7% occupancy. Fuck that.
That's why I kind of... You remember when Kanye said the New Slave's second verse was the best verse of all time? Maybe. He was saying some shit on there, bro.
He has. He's been saying stuff for a while.
That whole song
Said,
being
meanwhile, the DEA teamed up with the CCA.
projected against the whole 6 major cities around the world, bro. London, New York, like on the wall. Come on.
That was so sick.
I would argue that. I wouldn't argue that being the greatest verse of all time.
Talked about being a slave and had it on the Louis Vuitton building wall, sidewall.
But you know, it gets deep. I guess this entire episode should be.
Yeah, I was about to say this should have been everywhere.
This episode should be. There's levels to this shit.
There's levels to this shit.
I like that.
Is there levels to this shit?
There's many levels.
There's many levels to the levels itself.
Exactly.
There is a lot of levels to this.
Because like I'm learning how to color grade, but I need to buy a whole new TV for that.
Yeah, and the thing is, bro, like this information never stops.
Nah.
Ever. And I think that's what makes us gods.
That's just amazing.
That energy can't be destroyed.
Like I was telling you earlier, like I got depressed at a point when I started learning certain shit. But now I'm just like, I guess you learn to walk in faith and with God. You learn to let go and let God.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can do. So and it's really kind of like taught me to get closer to my spiritual side. Because that's how you got at the end of the day. Your spirit.
Exactly.
And when all this shit is done, when all shit go down, like we're still gonna live a spiritual life.
Yeah.
Our soul's still gonna leave and then go somewhere. So you gotta be tapped in.
Energy does. Oh fuck.
Energy transfers.
You okay?
It doesn't die. Energy can't be created or it
You look
can't
like
be
you're
destroyed.
about to die.
I just threw that back, but it wasn't like on the tongue. Go back. It was like straight tonsils.
Oh my god.
Fucking gas for air. But yeah, energy can't be destroyed or created. That's the funny part about energy. And we're all energy. And if we can't be created or destroyed, we have somewhere to go.
So then it goes back to what reincarnation, right?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
I think
hell. I think hell is reincarnation.
No,
I think
I think hell is what you are reincarnated into.
Yeah, I agree.
Based off your karma.
I agree, but I don't think heaven is being reincarnated as a person. What if you reincarnated as a person that lives a miserable? What if the energy in me right now was a karma from an evil deed I did lifetimes ago.
No.
You know? When
Because
I'm-
they know if you're a changed person or not. God would, when it comes Judgment Day comes, they're gonna know. They're gonna know.
I get that. What I'm saying is, I don't think energy. Like, if I was reincarnated into a human tomorrow, did I do bad? That depends on that human's life, right?
Yeah.
Let's say he lived a very poor life, fucked up life, orphan. Is that my karma? That's why I feel like karma, I feel like our life here is hell. Regardless of who you are. You rich, you fuck somebody over, you gotta live with that. You poor, you haven't fucked anybody over, but you poor.
But you've been fucked.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like heaven would be going to the calling place, and I feel like hell would be starting another lifetime here again.
You said your parents are super Christian and religious. You being a spiritual person that you are, is there a lot of conflict, a lot of differences? Do you guys see eye to eye on things, or can they accept your way of thinking and understand it, or they just kind of dismiss it?
No, I would say they're pretty accepting of me. Like I've told more things, I think, to my mom than my dad, like about my experiences with ayahuasca and stuff. And I mean, they both know that I meditate. I'm deep into that. I kind of like give them hints, but I don't go too deep into like how deep I actually am in this game.
Do you ever try to tell them like religion is just a way to control?
No, I don't. Me personally, I don't have a problem with religion. I feel like if that's what you like, then go ahead and do it. But I feel like it's limiting at the same time, and I feel like there's just so much more out there. And when you go deeper, it's kind of like that's the problem a lot of religious people have though with me, is that you get lost. You get lost in this stuff.
I was supposed to have a Christian actually on my podcast. He called me outside. He called me outside of my house, and he was like, "Oh, can I give you a flyer?" And I was never experienced that from a Christian. I thought it was a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's just like, "Oh, there's a church up the street, you should attend." You know, we start talking about like, "Do you believe in God?" And I'm like, "I do. I believe in God, but I don't claim a religion. I don't claim a." And I grew up Catholic, raised Catholic, just on my sacraments. But I always questioned it. Always questioned like, I don't need first person. Like,
Thank you.
no, that's not. They're not. So I was gonna get him. I asked him like, we started talking, and he kind of made me.
What is it?
It's Rossi. He kind of made me question my self a little bit, cause he was like,
Question your heart.
because he asked me, he's like, you think you're gonna go to heaven? And I was like, yeah.
Dude.
I was like, yeah. And he said, he's like, okay, he's like, okay, but based off you saying yeah, can I test you? Can I ask you a couple questions? I'm like, sure. So all right, we'll go down the list of commandments. So he asked me like, oh, have you ever I think the first one was like, have you ever, I forgot which one the first one he asked me, but he basically asked, he ran down a couple of them. One of them was do you lust? And I'm like, well, yeah. No, the first one was do you lie? And I said, I'm like, when you say lie, like, do you mean like straight up lie to like fuck other people over or benefit myself, or do you mean, because sometimes I lie to people to not be
White
rude.
lies.
Yeah, white lies.
Lies.
No, to not be rude. I keep things like, I hold them to myself.
You don't look tired.
Yeah, you feel me? Like
A little bullshit
little
like
shit like
that.
that. I'm like, because I mean, I do that, but I wouldn't consider to a point where I'm affecting people. I'm a liar, and I'm just looking out for myself in an evil way, you know.
Changed or something, you know.
So he was like, okay. He's like, do you lust? And I was like, obviously, you know, I'm a man. I do lust. And then he was like, okay. He's like, do you steal? Have you ever stolen anything? I was like, no, never stolen anything. He's like, do you covet your neighbor's goods? And I was like, no, I don't. There's nobody I really hate on for what they have, if anything, like this inspiration. Like, I might look at someone and be like, damn, bro, I'm jealous, but I'm not saying it with an intent like,
Yeah.
damn, I fucking want what you have. It's just like, damn, bro,
kill
like
for
that's
that.
hard. You got those. I'm jealous, man. I wanted them too. You know, it's little shit like that. So then he asked, like, he started saying like, okay, well, based off what you just answered, like, he's like, I wouldn't say you would go to heaven, basically, because he was like, you're not perfect, and I'm like, well, no one's perfect, and he wasn't calling himself perfect. He was like, no one's perfect, and I'm like, well, none of us are perfect. He's like, I understand that. He's like, but he kind of made me understand like we should be, we say we're in the image, we are made in the image of God, right? Mm-hmm. So he basically made me realize that like, why not aspire to be perfect? Yeah. Why not aspire to be like God?
Can I tell you the little issue I have with that? Not really I have with that, but just the issue with that. It's people having the safety net of Jesus dying for their sins enables them to just sin more. Because at the end of the day, they have it in their mind like, I'm forgiven.
But we understand that. And I don't take what everybody tells me all the time. I don't take everything people tell me. So what I learned from this experience was it's not wrong to want to be perfect. Because think about it. Like we always say, like when people ask, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" No one ever says perfect. No one ever says, "No, I want to be God."
Even if you do say perfect, I remember in elementary, some girl said perfect, and the teacher corrected her. And I'm just like,
and that again, bro. With the fact that people get mad that you say you want to be perfect, like no one's perfect. It's like I know, no one is perfect, but why can't I work towards being perfect? Why can't I work towards being the image of actually God?
That's good.
It's the safety net, bro. Because society really, I mean, the Western civilization, don't want you to be gods, bro. It's civilization. Yeah, I mean, the higher ups don't want you to be God, but civilization itself. If you were smothered in gold right now, everyone around you would be holding you from the ankle. Mm-hmm. Just so your ankle won't be in gold. Just so they could say, Chris ain't covered in gold. Mm-hmm. They'll knock the fuck out of you every little chance you get,
you're not
bro.
Perfect. Your ankle's still showing.
Exactly. So when it comes to things like that, bro, it's very hard for me to get down with a religion because
I don't fuck with religion.
If Jesus did die for people's sins, then why are we getting punished for it? Why is karma a thing? Why are all these little variables to where what goes around comes around if this dude died for my sins?
Yeah, and I didn't gonna lie, bro. Even when I had the conversation with him, I got offended. I started raising my voice with him because I was like, no, now you're trying to make me seem like I'm not perfect. Like I know the type of person that I am, bro. Like I know I'm not perfect, but I know I'm a real human being, a decent human being, more than a decent human being. Like I know my intentions are pure. I'm not trying to fuck nobody over. I don't do nothing in revenge in spite of other people. And I didn't do that. So that's why I was like, hey, he's trying to make me question myself. But I didn't question myself as far as the type of person I am. And then just little shit, even when he asked me like, do you use God's name in vain? And I was like, I don't, but I do always say on God. You know, I do always say like every time there's something funny, like on God, bro, about to eat this shit, like, you know, and it's jokes, but we shouldn't be saying that though. At the end of the day, because we're demeaning the name of God. We're demeaning the word God, bro.
I don't know.
It's true.
I don't think God goes by God, and I don't think He gives a fuck what we call Him, and I also don't think God will ever send me to hell for something I just.
Bro, you gotta respect God. Stop it.
I do respect God.
Stop it.
But that's the name we give God.
Okay, we give gravity a name, and we respect gravity for the most part.
But you don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
Okay, so what you just said about God doesn't make sense. All I'm saying is it's just a name, right? So God, what if God was given to a fucking table? Oh, put your laptop on God right now. Like, you know, there's just too many variables.
Put your laptop on God right now?
If the table was called God and I said I feel like you could give you could give anything a name. Really. As long as people follow it, you put in the dictionary. The fucking Beyonce's name's in the dictionary now. So all I'm saying is, I don't think if God is so loving, I don't think He'll send me to hell.
Okay.
I also don't think.
Well, His name's probably not God, but He is a God.
Yes.
So
in our own
God.
English language, yes. But what I'm saying is, even Jesus may not be His real name, but people fucking call Him that. That's saying His name in vain. Well, okay, you're addressing the dude by the wrong name.
What other Jesus do you really like?
There's Yahweh. There's Yahshua. Mm-hmm. There's all these different names, bro, but Jesus is the main one. And is it really Jesus?
I'm actually reading a book right now called The Law of Light, The Secret Teachings of Jesus. So in Aramaic, His name is Yeshua. Mm-hmm. But I guess Jesus would just be like the everything else version, you know?
And that's what I'm saying. So
translation.
Like, you know, if I go up there, let's say I do go up there, I'm like, hey, Jesus. And He's like, whoa, what the fuck are you calling that?
He would understand though.
Yeah, bro,
that's what I mean. He has an understanding. So when I say on God, in my heart, I don't think about Him.
But there's no reason to say on God. There's no reason to say swear to God. There's no reason.
But I don't swear. I mean, I could just start
swear
saying.
Swear to God is the same thing as on God, bro. You're putting it on God. That's swearing to God. That's the same shit.
That's very tough. It's
the same shit, bro.
It is.
We just made on God slang.
I just think we put a level to sinning, and I'm a victim to that because me saying on God isn't as bad as me killing somebody. But technically, a sin is a sin.
But it goes back to we're not all perfect, so that's why it's like, okay, I do say on God, I do make these little stupid comments, but
are you saying that because there's a safety net? That's where my theory kicks in. Like,
No, I'm saying it because I'm a head ass. I'm a head ass, bro. And at the end of the day, regardless if I do say it, I know my true intention. I wouldn't even say it's sinning. But if it is, then I maybe have to reconsider it.
But you will never. What if you go up there and God's like, look, bro.
If you say, look, bro, you said on God so many times, hey, it is what it is.
100%.
You can't be mad because, like, damn, I knew I shouldn't have been saying that, and my dumb ass was still saying that shit. So, hey, bro.
I get it. But, again, now we're thinking for God. And I feel like that's the biggest disrespect, where we're assuming what he's going to do and do not do.
That's true.
Because if, quote-unquote, he died for my sins, fuck it, on God.
Nah,
Because I ain't kill nobody.
That's a problem I have is, like, I feel like it's not as serious as we make it to be.
I don't think so either.
It's not.
I don't think so either. Because
But
if he's a loving God...
But that's why I feel comfortable saying it, because I'm like, it's not that serious.
I think
but that's a whack excuse.
I think my safety net is my God has a sense of humor.
Huh.
Because I wouldn't be funny if he
Because so I learned this from Remy that it says, because he was becoming a Jew at one point in time, in Hebrew it says we're created in the likeness of God. So if we're created in the likeness of God, and he should be able to understand the way that we think, the way that we process ideas.
He knows me. He knows my heart.
He knows your move before you make a move.
That's my problem with it.
Predetermined.
That's my problem with it. You know? My other problem too is, like, I always had this argument.
You can't play chess with God.
With my friend is like,
I think you can, but you'll lose. You'll lose.
If someone, so my friend's Christian and he's from Egypt, and so there's like Christian and there's Muslim. I was like, so if someone's raised in Muslim their whole life, they believe this is like true, and they never, like, for whatever reason Christianity did not make sense to them. They've already been preconditioned to be Muslim and they die. Are they going to go to hell? Like, because the human mind, like, just like you can't process Islam, they can't process Christianity. So, like, how God has to understand that. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
At end all say all, God's going to be like, look, y'all. They said when you die, you're going to find out everything. I'm going to tell you everything. You were lied to. And I feel like a lot of people, I don't think everyone is going to be themselves when they go to heaven. I feel like everyone's going to be released. Everyone's going to have that peace in mind where it's like,
we're going to be in Agartha.
God told me everything I needed to know. He told me all the truth. He told me all the lies in life. I know it all. I'm at peace. This is what matters. It's just peace. I think that's where it's going to be. Because if God is who people say God is, he killed more people than the devil did in the book. That's the part where I'm like, all right, if he's a loving God, right?
That I have a problem with that too.
If he's a loving God and he died for my sins, and if all these things are connected, how is it that I'm being punished? How? Like, how can I say you forgiven for your sins, but then I punish you?
Because did he die for you to do dumb shit, though? Like, did he die for you? Maybe he died.
I don't even know if he died.
I would say so. The problem I've been having recently is, like, I started going to church again, and
that's a big problem. Go ahead, though.
The fact that I don't like the fact that Jesus died for me, and I don't like the fact that they say in the blood, because I just get this picture of blood being poured over my head.
Cannibalism.
And it doesn't sit well with me.
Cannibalism. How do you think slavery started? Through Christianity. That's why I have a big problem with religion, bro.
Yeah, and it's like, I believe in Jesus. Like, I would say I connect.
So do Muslims, but they're hated because they don't think he's a god.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, there's just too many variables. Like, I honestly feel like I don't consider myself any religion, but I would just love to talk to God and understand why. Because there's, like, how I just bounce these questions off you so quick, but, like, they make sense to me.
Yeah.
Why would you punish me if you love me? If this dude died for my sins, why the fuck is there a hell? If everyone's forgiven, why is there a hell? You get me?
Because we still stupid. And I look at it like...
But you're forgiven for being stupid.
I mean, I'd be hot if I died for you, and then you continue doing the bullshit you do.
I get that.
Like,
I get that.
Personally,
I get that.
I'm like, bro, I'm gonna die, so you don't have to, like, I love you so much, I'm gonna just die for you, but stop just killing people.
So, okay, here's the question.
So then I die for you, and then you keep killing people, I'll be hot.
Is Hitler in hell?
Hot,
is Hitler in hell?
I don't think he's dead. I think he's Walt Disney. Oh, he's dead. He's frozen.
Let's say he's dead. Let's say he's dead, right? Let's just say he's dead.
That's a whole different.
Let's say.
We're 3 hours in. Fuck all that.
Let's say.
We're gonna have to end this shit soon because my laptop about to die.
My memory card's about to be full. Let's say Hitler is dead, right? If he's forgiven for the sins, is he in heaven?
No. Not according to Christianity standards.
But he's forgiven for his sins.
He didn't accept Jesus as his Lord and Savior.
We don't know that.
We would assume.
We don't know that.
Well, he committed suicide. That's like an unforgivable sin in Christianity.
Bro, you're trying to play devil's advocate and it's not working.
All I'm saying
You're trying
is
to justify sinning.
I'm not trying to justify sinning. I'm not. All I'm saying
if he
is
died for me, why am I punished?
No. I'm not trying to die for. All I'm saying is it's a very backwards ideology of saying this person died for my sins.
But
Because if we're
I don't even care
aspiring
to
to be,
entertain that shit.
I know, but what I'm saying is many Christians do. Therefore, they keep
But that's
bullshitting.
sweet Christians.
Then why is it promoted religion?
Because it's controlling people and it keeps you like.
Okay,
So that's my.
It keeps people. It keeps people doing bullshit because
It keeps the
they're
business
forgiven.
going. It keeps the
then-
it keeps the business going.
So then, what do you think about Kanye? Because he's a
I think
Christian,
it's dope because, well,
but he's also.
okay, hold on.
You can tell he's.
Spiritually, I think he damn.
Before I say he's dope, I was liking it at first. I like the idea, but now I'm seeing that there's being alcohol served at the church. Tickets are kind of go up to like $500. So it's like I get that down to traditional church, and I understand he made a point like. My kids love coming to church now, and growing up, I hated going to church because it was boring.
Yeah.
But if I went to one of those churches, I might have probably would have
it's
liked
fun.
it.
It's fun.
You
Yeah.
feel me? But now he's like teaming up with Joel Osteen, and he's like certain shit,
democratic
Brad Pitt, and I'm just like, I don't know, Kanye. Now I feel like you're coming into for a business.
Remember how I told you he a free man because he tax free now?
Yeah, bro. If he lets that shit, if he gets able to get that licensing to be tax free. But if he's still doing good shit for the people, I think he won. I think he's at the point where he beat elitists. He beat elitists because now you can't tax me for my money. You can't really control me because I have a church. I'm one of y'all. But if he ends up making it like
my theory,
like for good, if he ends up helping actually people, then that'd be dope. Because it's like now I can finally have all my money to myself. I can really do what I want to do. Start opening my own parks, have my own Walmarts, have my own shit like that. You get me?
Because he's not tied to a label, and I feel like the church was a tax evasion.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing. So I agree with it for a black man to become free of the ball and chain from the music industry.
Bro, he'll win.
I disagree with it because he's promoting the same religion that started, I wouldn't say started slavery, but enhanced slavery. Because slavery, Christianity was used against slaves.
Is that the religion or is that man?
It don't matter.
Yeah.
To me, it don't matter.
Really?
Because that book was held by that person. Your westernized book was made by y'all. There wasn't no Jesus in India. There wasn't no Jesus in Africa. The white man came and oppressed and spread the word of Jesus.
I don't think it really matters what we call him. Like you said, all these different names that they have. I don't think it matters because Christians call it Jesus. But I think the same ideologies from each religion is just kind of the same.
It is.
You idol one, you idol a god.
I guess I would consider myself a Christian in that I admire Christ and I want to be like that.
Right.
But in terms of religion, I don't really associate.
And what's the definition of a Christian? Like, how does that? How if you look up Christian, what do you think it says? You're not sure. Let me look.
Nah, man.
That's a good thing. Let me see. What is a Christian? Relating to or professing Christianity or its teachings. A person who has received Christian baptism or is a believer in Christianity. That doesn't really say much.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the how do you say it? Abrahamic
Monotheistic.
Yes, religion based on the life and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. Yeah, it doesn't really say what. There's really no definition, huh? It's really just a religion. I don't know, man. It's kind of iffy. It's cool. You can leave the video off. Or it's on?
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, man, we touched on a lot of shit today. There's definitely levels to this. And as soon as you go through one hole, you go to the next level, and then you go to the next level, and then you question everything.
I say for life itself, I think there is a loophole for everything, and I think there is a question for every answer.
There is.
Not an answer for every question, but a question for every answer.
They might be an answer for every question, but we probably won't ever get those answers.
I think God's the one with that. But I think we're the ones that ask the questions after the answer. People like us are the ones that ask the questions after we're given the answers from likewise deities.
You know what's crazy, bro? God can come down right now and tell us shit, and I think I still question it.
Yeah, same.
Like that.
Honestly, I have this thought a lot where I feel like the second coming or whatever that's gonna happen, I think what's gonna save me is my stubbornness in saying
smacking.
My bad.
I think what's gonna save me is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't think that's you. I don't think you're God. Nah. Oh, walking on water, cool. You know how to swim. Like, I'm not even gonna question. I just feel like I'll question it so much where God's like, fuck it, like you win. Because you didn't fall for anything. You win. Like, you're allowed in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, that's the fucking test right there. Like,
because I'm the type.
If I can
Bro,
bullshit you,
if you walk on water right now, I'm just gonna be like, wow.
I said that shit was true. All right, next. Prove something else.
Yeah. Here's a loaf. Here's a slice of bread. Feed the town. I want to see more.
But see, this is what we're doing right now. It's still bad, bro. Like, we just mocking something.
I'm not mocking him because look,
we are. We mocking it.
If I was a god and humans, people weaker than me, are mocking me, I would have a kick out of that. It's almost like, you ever watch Dragon Ball Z? When Beerus comes in, he's like he's more powerful than Goku, but he just came to Earth because he wanted to destroy Earth until he found ice cream.
Is that the bunny food?
And to me, it's just I think gods are like, I think God
How is he more powerful? I don't know.
I think God has one of the best sense of humors ever. Look at life.
I mean, you seen Bruce Almighty?
Not even that. I'm just saying, just look at life.
Yeah.
Very funny.
It is.
Whether the joke's on you or whether the joke's on somebody else, there's always a person being the butt of the joke. Mm-hmm. So I think God's very laid back, honestly. I don't think all this serious shit that people say. I think he came to terms where it's like, society's moving very fast. Y'all got porn on the phone.
Which is bad. I don't know why you would say that.
It is bad. No. It is bad. I agree.
About God and talking about we got porn.
No. But I'm saying,
thank you, God, for the porn.
No. What I'm saying is, guys, like, I do see you guys have access to a lot of, like, you guys.
That's not even better though. That's actually a bad thing.
You could wake up and just sin, right? Pretty much anyone, and
so it's getting worse.
And it is getting worse. That's what I'm saying. But I think God's to the point where it's like, this worse.
But we got 5-year-old transgenders. Shit's definitely getting worse.
Yeah.
I had to say that.
But I think he's at the point where it's almost like saying on God isn't, like, just using that example, not just saying it because that's the topic, but saying on God isn't as bad as the next thing. You get what I mean? And I feel like he's at...
It isn't.
At least in my heart, I feel like God's understanding.
It's like, swear to God, I'll shoot this person. Swear to God, bro. I'm gonna say swear to God.
Because I could
say... It's not that deep, you know? I get what you mean.
The problem that I have, and I get into this argument all the time with, like, traditional Christians, is that I don't feel like God is this thing that's outside of me. I feel like God is inside of me, and I feel like God's inside of you. And I feel like I'm a shard
DMT showed me
of God.
There is a point where everyone starts from and everyone ends at.
We're all connected.
And that is what, bro, that love feeling.
That's God.
I cried when I came down because I said, I know I have the capability of being in love because I was just there 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
I was inside love. I was in love itself. Like, bitch, love.
Alright, man, I'm gonna cut all this shit. We talked about DMT for the longest already and all that shit. And before we get out, I wanted you to plug your shit. And
thank you,
I
man.
only got like 8% left on my laptop. Because I thought we were gonna keep going and going and going.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We really could.
Give them your username. You let them know where to contact you. If you want a house, hit them up. If
Thank you.
Trying to sell a house, hit them up.
Thank you.
And go ahead, plug your shit in.
So my name is Joel. Joel's Got the Keys. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I don't really go on there. I also got a YouTube channel. I'm going to be picking that up soon again. And so, yeah, Joel's Got the Keys on everything. If you need to buy a house, sell a house, I'm here.
Definitely got to have you on again, bro, because I feel like we didn't even touch enough on even real estate. I had a lot more questions about, like, more than first-time home owner and all that stuff.
Season.
So
Season 3.
Yeah, definitely want you to tap back in. But I like how you're not I even like how there's levels to you. You know, you don't just settle as a real estate agent. You know, you like to and honestly, bro, I feel like you can cater to even the spiritual community and even be a realtor for them. And that itself is a dope because they relate to you. They'll be like, cool, this guy has done ayahuasca.
Sanctuary.
He's done all this. I want him to sell. I want to buy a house from him.
Yeah.
Or I want him to sell my house.
I want an ayahuasca palace.
I like that. Let's go.
So Joel's got the keys, yo. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you
bro.
for having me.
Nah, man,
I enjoyed
it. Yo. We out this bitch. See y'all next week, man. Overly blunt.
Thank you.